Hello everybody and welcome back to another PGR stream. Doing the stream my usual time because I'm doing something a bit different this week, but we will be continuing the story which I left off last week. Not the new event though, this one. So far, a little recap last time, 21's having problems adjusting to a new frame, and yeah, people got murdered, people gone missing. It's your job to find out why. So yes, thank you for coming to the stream. I am the ZP of the 139. And I just will ask you to just sit back, relax, and enjoy this story. Hopefully, I don't constantly get characters that constantly say no at the end of the sentence. It's alright for like one or two people to say that, but for every single character that says that, I'm gonna go like a little writing technique. If you're gonna be writing about characters, it's a good idea to create some speaking quirks for just different characters. Because we all, if people speak the same language, some people tend to use more words than others, certain words, and different ways of pronunciations or saying things, or some people say more sayings, some people like to use swear words every second word in a sentence. But anyway, let's continue the story. Just need to make sure everything is working smoothly, super duper, and let's go. I'd also like to say, I did upload two videos today, one on my on the MIKU channel and one on the Google's channel. I've been sitting on them for a while, so I'll finish them off today. And time to go streaming as well. To this very squishy sound I'm hearing right now. A slimy, sticky, crawling sound echoed throughout the demon room. Inside a simple coral made of piles of boulders and rebars, a few floral and fauna-like ketchup creatures are wandering about. The monsters walk past one another without any aggression. Instead, they move together as a group, toward the edge of the coral. With 1 meter of the coral is a house cleaning robot that is dead from running out of power. Hedgehog creatures reach out their limbs hysterically at the slumbering machine and keep ramming into the fence that is stopping them. Gradually, the commotion slows to a halt. 2 plant-like hedgehog creatures extend their crown upward and grab onto the highest rebar of the coral. Next, 3 amphibian-like hedgehog creatures slowly climb upward along the bodies of their kind. After some struggle, they realize that the slimy skin of their kind is not suitable for climbing. The hedgehog creature leading the procession extends its concealed blade on its limb and stabs into the body of one of its friends, pushing the Sapphire up another level. When the last hedgehog creature climbs onto the branch leading to the crown, the thin branch finally splits straight down the middle from the weight. Unfortunately, Climber and the 2 plant-like hedgehog creatures tumbles into the earth, their crowns still clinging to the top. The 2 hedgehog creatures that made it over to the enclosure close in on their prey and begin their aggressive attack on the silent machine. Sir, a call from Lithos. Grey Raven, they have left, sir. They have left the eye which I asked Mr. Monster remove. Everything else is as you predicted. Our cargo is ready in the paper crane. I don't think we need the batch to know what this means. Yes, sexually activity has appeared in City 27. That means we should prioritize projects relating to Sophia. Right. We can let Mr. Monster join the project if that's okay with you. Nifus glances at the man beside her, but she is looking... Why did I say she? I know. Why did I say she? It's a he. Gosh darn it. Him. Nicholas glances at the Mandus. It does say her. But Nicholas is a he. This is the problem, the mistranslations. I don't really think this is a problem with the writing anymore. I think this is a problem with translators. What? I don't know what's going on. There's clearly something going on with the writing and the translation. And this happens with every update and it doesn't get fixed. They don't fix their localization problems. They don't fix when pictures do not come up right. I don't think it's fixed. I don't know if anyone's complained about it. I certainly haven't reported it. Maybe I should. I just seem to be complaining more about PGR lately than actually enjoying it. Which is bad. But he's looking downward in his quite as long winter night. Maybe meeting him was destiny steering us to the future we see now. Cinderlink and I couldn't be more thankful for the projects leading to Symphilia, but it might not be the best for you, if I may. Are you sure you want to initiate the backup plan? They are backup plans precisely because they will achieve the results we desire. Don't worry. Then I know what I should do next. I really hope she will become the key that you need. Are you going to keep observing them? Cinderlink points at the hedgehog creatures that are still attacking their prey. Get rid of them. There's no room for doubt. But only a proportion of samples displayed cooperative behaviors. That already proves that it's possible. Go and turn them into Earth-like creatures. That will make it easier for the Ascendeds and humans to understand and manipulate the hedgehog creatures. You also need to start preparing items related to Sevilla. Yes, sir. Vonnegut looks at the girl with wings to see if she has any other concerns. I was thinking about what Little said earlier, that Project Sevilla might not be the best choice for you. Because the project will destroy the original person and the survivors, and that would mean a higher risk with Haywire. But how is evidence that humans discovered the key before us but lost control of it? If we don't do anything unusual, concentrations of the punishing fires, we only create more chaotic hedgehog creatures. And creatures created from the retire are difficult to predict and control, making test samples left what's left at the Copperfield Aquarium. Confining them to Earth's natural laws before they go haywire is a better choice for us and for humans. So go and make your dream come true. Yes, sir. Still don't know what the deal with Cinderlink's story. Hey, 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 over here, over there. Go over there. Boom. Goof. Behind the scary-looking guy is a group of 4 or 5 hedgehog creatures. After luring the monsters to a specific spot, the muscular construct gives them an aggressive punch, sending them flying a few meters backward. Before the monsters could back up, they were already engulfed in flames from the explosion. Mr. Noctis, too close! What? The explosion! Too close to the Commandant! Huh? That was enough time for 21 to run 3 laps while carrying fear. A construct might be capable of that, but shards from an explosion can totally kill a human. But he's wearing powered metal suit. Well, at least count to 3 next time if you set off a bomb so people have time to ready themselves. Oh, sure thing, next time. I'll go 3. Jeez, he asked you to count to 3, not say 3. You moron. Don't you know I don't like to count? Just kidding. I said up one earlier, so that doesn't count. Next time I count properly, alright? Are you alright, Commandant? Yeah, I'm fine. Air reeking of explosives rush into your lungs as you take a deep breath. A shiver travels down your spine and you realize it's already been filtered by the power suit. Cerberus is notorious for the way of executing missions, but the way this particular mad dog pulled off his angels now is way beyond rough. With his help, however, you managed to lose a great number of your pursuers just half an hour after leaving 27. You encounter some enemies here and there on your way to the conservation area, where the Cerberus are stationed. The hedgehog creatures aren't much of a threat for the three constructs around. Is it just me? Or are these trash harder to get rid of than usual? It's not. They are definitely stronger than before. Are the enemies you fight on your missions also becoming stronger? No. That's why I thought I was imagining things. I think it's time to take up my explosives to the next level. Does your mission have to do with the creature creatures too? I think so. But not to fight them. Vera's already having a headache dealing with people from the conservation area. The people there difficult? How would I know? But Vera hasn't sent me to beat anyone up, so I guess they're okay. Oh, shoot. Was I supposed to say that? Whatevs. If someone asks, I'll just say the foolish girl said it. Maybe it's a lack of resources? If we get them, we'll be able to help. Really? Boy, aren't you kind. You've already sent our location to the transport craft. Should we ask them to pick us up later? Yes. I have something of a theory that might be able to test out at the conversation area. The sound of explosion gunshots slowly vanishes. Before you know it, every last one of your pursuers have been eradicated. That's the last of them. Now let's get you to work at the base. Wait here for a bit. I know a secret shortcut. But let me go check its location. The muscular construct sprints off straight into the knee-high undergrowth from the large road. Commandant, what caught your attention exactly? Remember what happened at the stairwell? Some hedgehog creatures committed suicide and become stepping stones for the rest of the climb. And maybe, just maybe, the piece of hedgehog creatures' corpses at the first and second sets of coordinates are the results of mass suicides? Right. We haven't heard of any aim committing suicides, but let's say this sphere is true. Why did they do it? No idea. But if they actually committed suicide on purpose, I think we're about to see some drastic changes in the battles coming up. The desire to survive is in the genes of every creature on Earth. It connects every living individual, forming a web that instills the temptation to live into every creature. Only blinking eyes can behold the beauty of a loved one. Only a breathing nose can take in the aroma of delicious food. Only moving arms can feel the warmth of another. Living is the only way to experience what life has to offer, and lives on Earth fight endlessly for that right. That is also why we remember those who give their lives for others as heroes in their deeds. They went against the instinct to avert death, against their nature, against their fears, or for something greater. Pure creatures, however, simply live with the need to attack, not bound by natural worth and fear of death. For them, the strategic goal of the group takes priority, sacrificing the self to create a bridge is the most sensible choice. And that turned on an otherwise disorderly group of individual hedgehog creatures into an organized troop with absolute execution power. Humans have been searching for solutions and waves of disasters with our intelligence and human nature. But we're entering another deep winter, just as we're turning this war around in this fight for survival. But we have to keep in mind the possibility the descendants are behind this. Speaking of which, camera bot is damaged. Did it capture anything? You could see that the hedgehog creatures in the area were all moving slowly in the same direction that we left, and the robot went dead. And then the work seems a little too neat to have it been doing for the hetero creatures noticing immediately destroying the robot. Just upload the footage, don't analyze it by frame. Hey, Great Raven! Over here! Noctis hops down from a tree, crushing a handful of lush vegetation. Hey, are we going to wait for this meadow? Yep. Can't tell there's a path, right? Told you it's a secret shortcut. Just follow me. He strides comfortably into the nature sea of green right away. Let's go, Commandant. Please follow Liv. I'll be right behind you. Lee says after a frustrated sigh. At the other end of the meadow, with weapons in hand, the humans and the constructs are cutting a path through the tall grass. The two groups will soon meet each other somewhere among the sea of green. Smell she desires. I'll take the left and you take the right, number 21. Shortly. Stay close to us. I am not short. I'm not done growing yet. Right. 21 walks to the other side of the road with a blank face and focuses on some marks left on the undergrowth and mud. Her tail swings quickly by mindlessly, destroying a few fragile flowers. Is Corona the one responsible for developing 21's new frame now? Yes. Under whose order? Forget it. We need a lot of help for Corona even if we wanted to design it ourselves. We have no data on her current design. This frame might just become the victim of some complicated war one day. It's better to let one party complete the entire design rather than have both sides be skeptical about the other's design. For developers, getting the new frame to work is the only way to obtain new, valid data. So I can understand why he decided to hand over the authority of design. But I can promise you that I hold significant influence even if I can only supervise the project. I would like to receive a copy of every progress and capability report. This is a reasonable request from the supervisor of 21, right? I'll see to it as long as this classified development information is kept safe. On behalf of 21, I really appreciate your help. The red-haired construct puts on a bright spell, but underneath her perfect smile stirs raging, suppressed anger. I'll get going then. Right. Oh, 1 second. I know 21 has a little common sense and has trouble with words, but do you know anything about what she wrote about her wish for a new frame? What did she write? To have the smell of humans. Ever since she returned from the mission in the little town, the smell of humans became one of her favourite phrases. Vera never paid much attention to it when it appeared to the daily squabbles of Cerberus. The smell of humans. That is something that becomes non-existent the moment someone chooses to become a construct. Noctis is an Ori Briner, and Vera would give him a painful kick the moment she heard him say something like that. But for someone who is robbed of their human experiences, crazy phrases like this seem oddly fitting. But nobody knows what 21 still needs to become the human she imagined. The original goal is to provide her with some extra options on the top of stability. But live testing has shown that the frame cannot follow her wishes if it is to maintain stability. And as far as the frame stability goes, most constructs experience fear and panic when the imagined self is different from their actual self. Basically, it's when their inner self cannot accept reality. Does 21 really know her heart? She's showing a lower capability in the human-like frame than her current frame. 21, can you find what you're desperately looking for? Captain, is Buddy going to die? If you were the one who was lost, I'm going to sit there and wait for death? No, I'll come back to be with you. You should know more than anyone else than that Buddy isn't going to give up so easily. Right. Having some motivation recovered, 21 rushes back to her research area. I found some footprints over there. The boy Zelium made some nearby, as he waves at Vera with an eccentric gesture. Without waiting for a response, he swiftly dashes toward the newly discovered clue. Hey, don't run away like that. 21, follow him. MIKU. I stay close to us, will you? But I saw something. Fine. These footprints are new. Alright, Shorty, tell me what you think. Look at the heel of this footprint. It's missing a piece. It's like Auntie Vang's. What do you mean? She lives close to me and we talk every day. Yesterday she complained about the cracked sole of her shoe. She didn't have time to get it fixed. Weird. Why only footprints from one foot? Footprints are getting messy from here. Did she bump into hedgehog creatures here? But why would she run so far by herself? Let's keep going. Sans was right. You know your conservation area very well. Of course. It's not like that cold-blooded one. Everyone is nice to me. Of course I should help them back. I just don't understand her. She took all the help for granted and still remains so distant. That's why I want to find everybody. I don't want to see their tears. Just a reminder that I can't promise you will find them. Captain, there's something in front. Yeah, it's a big blue bloody plant. A flower? Never seen this kind. Have you, Shorty? No, never. Wait a second, that's not right. We didn't walk that far, but these trees look like nothing what I remembered. Stay calm. Ew. The smell makes me uncomfortable. Alright. That was easy. An earthquake? Whoa, the ground is shaking. What's going on? 21? I don't know what's going on. My head hurts. A lot. Is it because of a straight or? Here we are again. Why don't you just go home to your mummy? Understood. Just by myself. Just trying to spit stuff at me. Wow, that was a close one. 21 rank 3. What does that even mean? Alright. Yeah, it doesn't hurt anymore. Are you alright? Don't just stand there, Shorty. Run! Protect him, 21. Get away. Okay. Oh, we're gonna shred some meat bags. Let's go. Oh, dead. Oh, it's easy. The smell she desires. Twisted Forest. Why do you give me a PvV option but I can't switch? That makes no sense. Wait, I'm gassing out. What does that even mean? Anyway, keep up. So many of these weird things. Enemy's ahead. Why so it turns out these creatures are fighting are actually the people that would turn into them. I mean, they really have a sad existence. Two eyes on the side, the head with one arm to drag their body across. It really is an evolutionary dead end. There we go. There we go. Problem solved. All clear around here. Rest up for now. What happened to your face, Shorty? You alright? I think so. The weird leaf scratched my face when I was on the run. Why did you have to? I know he ran away. You don't have to show me a scene of him running away. Let me take a look. Take this. Use it to clean your wound first. I'll send you back just to be safe. No, don't. Where you found the clue. I only need to. The injury's too risky for you. That's just a tiny stretch. And you must listen to me, because Farah is in fact a doctor. Oh, well, a nurse. Do you know the forest here? From here onwards, nothing like I remember. I can hear footsteps. The enemies are coming. Tisk, can't they just give us a break? And it's right on me. Oh, I failed to dodge that. Let's go. And let's just finish this off. That was more disgusting, squishy things. Consume. I am consuming. They're getting tougher. I can tear them apart easily. Indeed, I felt that too. Better get someone to pick us up. And we're jammed. Hello? Vera here. Base, do you copy? Can you hear it? Me? I need someone to pick us up. What's going on? Hey, you. I think I just saw them. Hey, this smell is getting strange. Follow him. Got it. And he just runs back. Alright, let's go chippity chop chop. Shred them to pieces. Just like God intended. Yeah, he's gone mad. He's gone delusional. Buzz. Still can't get through. Odd. The communication signal was disrupted, but it was still working yesterday. Is the stuff jammed? It's been stored in an exclusive box all this time, so technically this can't happen. While the two of them talk, the construct persistently attempts to adjust the equipment's parameters, only to hear static noise off and on. How about this? Since there's no other option right now, I'll stay here and try my luck with it, and I'll keep you updated once there's any progress. The construct gives you and Noctis a nod before turning back to the work on the malfunctioning device. Let's look around first. Showing no objection, Noctis shrugs and proceeds to follow you out of the transport craft. I'm sorry, Commandant. Did I hurt you? As you step out of the craft, Liv rushes over, almost colliding with you, while clutching a medical box in hand. I'm okay. Don't worry. You didn't actually bump into me. Are there a lot of casualties? The medic said they've already provided treatment to all the wounded after the incident, but we just noticed varying degrees of deterioration in everyone's wounds. Even with sufficient doses of injected, the serum seems to be not working as effectively as expected. And one of the medics accidentally came in contact with an infected patient's blood fluid, so I'm bringing medicine over. Liv, be careful. After giving you a brief nod, Liv hurriedly departs, grabbing the medicine box, tying her hand. Hello? Officer? Call me Commandant of the of the Grey Raven, hero of Babylon. I can imagine like Gregory shook up doing that. It's like, call me Field Marshal of the Red Army, hero of the Soviet Union. Officer Zod, is there anything else I can help you? Salon's expression shows genuine sincerity. Before arriving here, your squad and Noctis ran into a research group in the south of the conservation area. After Noctis exchanged information with the construct of the group, they decided to let one of them escort Noctis and you back. After learning about what happened in the campsite from Salons, you intended to contact Vera for a discussion regarding the next step. However, you soon discovered significant signal disruption in the vicinity. As if veiled by a veil of mist, the entire area suddenly lost all communication signals, casting a sense of unease of everyone's present. Can I send my men to assist you if you plan to rendezvous with Captain Vera? You need to be discreet before taking any action. With their location unknown, our decision could put another group of people in danger. You're right. I'm just worried about the kid's safety. If they do run into any danger, Vera and the others will do everything they can to protect him. I'm sure you send him on the mission because you believe in him. Yeah. Knowing that believing in someone worrying about him is not the contradictory. As the leader of the conservation area, however, Silence has maintained a composed demeanor for the sake of his people. The other thing is, my men noticed some unusual activity in the south. We're going to check it out. Can you sign a contract to come with us? I heard you guys bumped into some monsters on the way over, so I'm thinking they might have wandered somewhere nearby. Noctis, can I leave that to you? Oh? I was kinda expecting you to let me search for Vera and 21 so that I could see them burst into tears upon my arrival. Anyways, dealing with those hedgehog creatures also is part of my gig that Vera gave me. As Noctis moves his shoulder around, he follows Salons, away with his weapons in hand. Vera's team was already relocated to their tents. From the military encampment to the conservation area, with the aid of the devices, Lee is running through analysis of the available data. How's it going? I've been trying all the way here, but the videos can't be uploaded with the low-level channels on and off. But I've had all the data sorted out of our squad as he asked. Now tell me about your speculation. You see the three dots flashing on the screen before you, representing three central purification filters located near the mission points. The dots are marked with 1 and 3 are emitting on the green glow, suggesting which the CVFs are operating normally. While the other dot appears grayed out, which means CVS near mission 2 has shut down. Using each of the three dots as a center, Lee highlights the strange influence of each CPF. Coincidentally, all three of your mission points fall within the boundaries of their respective circles. Our current location is right here. If all that's Lee marks the conservation with a new dot. You take Operation Terminal from Lee and hide all the other marks, leaving only 3 mission points, the conservation area on display. According to Salons, Vera's men, I'm assuming the conservation area will soon be the 4th location where hetero creatures gather. The possibility stands. Since similar situations haven't occurred here, the command center did not include this area in our mission. That's my assumption. Shall we ask about the CPFs? So you can think it has nothing to do with the filters? You nod to lead and slide your finger across the terminal, causing the map on the screen to zoom out gradually, revealing a wider area. Hold on. Lee immediately picks up your fort and takes the terminal back. 2 seconds later, a bigger dot is marked on the map, the Infra Hetero Tower. The clean intended around the Infra Hetero Tower comes into view. There's a ring outside 3 mission points in the conservation area full. This means hetero creatures are graveling abnormally in the vicinity of the outside the clean zone? But we haven't collected enough evidence yet. This is just a speculation. If this is true, this is true, it means the enemy has secretly started an even fiercer counterattack after humans just gained the upper hand in this war. If events unfold as anticipated, the first area reclaimed on Earth, symbolizing hope for mankind, may become a secure but enclosed prison. If the Hedra creatures in the entire ring area somehow learn to work together, the absolute safety of the clean zone will need to reconsideration for sure. Report! I picked up a signal. Construct had been occupied with the transmitter and the transport craft bursts into the tent. Almost stumbles upon entering. Calling. Hear me? We? Transmitter play a captured call, but only a few words can be discerned from the audio due to the overwhelming static noise. Sounds like Vera's voice. But there's no way we can reach her now with the current signal disruption. Can we track down the location for this? Only more advanced communications can manage to do that. Unfortunately, this one we have on hand isn't one of those. That was initially planned as a simple mission, so we didn't request any advanced equipment except for the standard ones. As if I could know this earlier. In electing the construct's complaint, Lee's focus seems to be drawn by something on the ceiling of the tent. Sensing his unusual behavior, you follow his gaze directly to your attention towards the same spot. Have you seen that? The construct abruptly ceases spawning and joins you in Lee looking up. And the focus of your gaze is a capsule-shaped level vial attached to the ceiling. The red liquid inside appears to be trembling slightly. An earthquake, but she doesn't feel like one. The tremor doesn't come as you expected. A few seconds later, the level vial already turns still again. What's that wind? But this tent is military grade windproof. Ah, if it's military grade, then it's not windproof. As Lee lifts the tent flap, you expect it to be greeted by a powerful gust of wind, but for shade to take, however, nothing has happened. As you and Lee lock eyes in contemplation, a sudden tremor rebels through the ground beneath your feet, disrupting the momentary stillness. Unlike the sensation of the ground being torn apart, you are bombarded by intense small vibrations. If countless of insects are scowling and trampling upon the ground, the peculiar sensation creeps up from your feet, crawling its way up your body and permeates every inch of your skin. Let's check outside. Confused murmurs and noise reverberate throughout the entire conservation area, as people exchange glances, searching for an explanation. Before anyone can fully comprehend the situation, the ground starts shaking with even greater force as the true horror begins to unfold. Amidst the rustling sound of vegetation, some of the grassy plants anchored in the shallow topsoil are effortlessly torn asunder, exposing their twining light brown roots. Ah! Earthquake! It's an earthquake! Run to the open space, don't close to any buildings, and forget about your stuff in the tents. What is that? With the transmitter still in hand, the construct makes an exaggerated lunge to steady himself, pointing towards something in the distance. As you turn to gaze in the direction, a memorizing sight unfolds you before your eyes. The treetops adorned in a bright colour suddenly emerge from the depths of the dark green woods. It's its own ecosystem. The growth defies all expectations, surpassing the normal dimensions of trees in a matter of moments. Their roots have materialized above the woods, without even touching the soil. Its roots are connected to stocky stems, originating from a central wooden body that appears unbending. In other words, those tree cones are branches extending from one tree. No, it is inaccurate to refer to it as one tree. It resembles a plant composed of various intertwined parts, chaos existing in the form of a living organism. And it only can be remotely characterized as a plant, as it exhibits both wood-like texture and patterns. A globular forest. This is the only phrase you can manage to form within your mind. Interesting. The twisted forest. Lost shadow. Oh, okay. Well, I guess since I have a Vera, allows me to do it. for me, guys. I found you. Stop. Stop, shorty. Ah, you're all here. And he gets consumed. You want to go over there too? Okay. And he's gone. "21. Stop him." I don't like how it's like using her skin in this. Come back. Ah, you just want to hold my hand? Got it. And he's gone. 21, come back. Stay away from the... Instead of the red tides on the purple tide? Where am I? Can't feel anything ahead. Well, I guess it's time to go walking. We're walking back. I don't think it's here. Can I move the... Yeah, I can move the camera around. Doggy. What is that? More over there. I see. You want to get back to where you belong, right? Wolf? She's the white wolf. A loner. Amenies. Captain needs my help. Captain? I mean, this is my hero now. She's immortal. Alright, let's go. Her frame is running out again. Is the info device working properly? Good, now take care of them first. Really is my hero. All clear. You know how the other one just keeps running. The white wolf? The black wolves. You going back to your pack? Why? You're on your own again. Wolf is literally a spirit animal. What did I say? I can't hear you. Become the same color. Easier said than done. Just go a bit further. Who's there? Who's here? Where am I? Who am I? 21! Damn, did she pass out? Is the infection too hot? But it's only on the arm. Or has she's gotten used to the frame? Well, time to do some more babysitting. What are you doing, you ugly box? How about you just die? Eat my radiation field. What are you doing? Let's go. Right, when did the wolves use hyper beams? It's not allowed. I'm a doctor and I'm here to fix the problem. There we go. Commandant, the wounded and priority evacuates have finished boarding. Should we get them going immediately? Give me a minute, I have to take a look. Transport craft that Vera's team brought is now filled with people. The majority are elders and children, only a few individuals being carried on stretchers. That thing stopped. Salons points to the global forest. They're almost extended to your vicinity. Is everyone alright? Only a few are slightly scratched. They'll be fine. Still, we seem much worse when the tower in the clan zone appeared. Having scratches was like winning a lottery at that time. But the waves of tremors are truly unsettling. You wonder if it looks akin to a tumor. Uply sprouting from the surface as seen from Babylonia's point of view. But the true horror that it resembles can only be fully experienced when one sets foot on this land. In contrast to the Inver Hetru Tower, seemingly an intricate craft of another realm, the Gobbler Forest stands the manifestations of betrayal originating from the soil. Not a majestic staircase crafted by divine hands, but a menace standing right before your eyes, whose roots have quietly torn the land apart in fleeting moments. Even once tranquil woods surrounding it is now skewed an ominous aura. Fortunately, its rapid growth has been slowing down after it's just materialized. With its initial expanding speed, everything in your view would have been devoured already by now. However, that uncanny fatality persists. Everyone can feel through the occasional vibrations beneath their feet. Give us a break already. How many trips do we have to evacuate everyone in the conservation area? While the wounded are aboard, these stretchers are taking up quite some space. I think 3 trips will suffice. No, actually, you might just need to pull it off in 2 trips. Which trip are you leaving? I'll stick around until the very last person leaves, don't worry. There are trustworthy people within the group. I'm honestly not so important as you might think. Alright. Constructs leaving them will help them settle down as well. Okay then, I'll leave it to you guys. Having said that, Salon's family strides toward a group of men who appear to be preoccupied with their tasks. They're trying to push down the empty houses that teeter on the brink of collapse to avoid any potential danger if another wave of tremors hits. Observing Salons as he rolls up his sleeves and joins the group, you feel a newfound respect for him as a leader growing within you, even though he claims himself to be not so important. In the corner of your eye, you catch a glimpse of Lee lifting the tent curtain and waving at you. After one gaze at the transport craft that he's taken off, you hastily make your way back. He found us. The thing placed on the table is an assistant device for remote connections, an exclusive piece of equipment that belongs to Cerberus. I knew There will be something that could come in handy. Channel for the remote connection with constructs is exclusive to Cerberus, and the specs are more advanced compared to the stranded ones. It's worth a shot. But I've heard that the Commandant is pretty much the only one who can establish a remote connection with Cerberus members. If we manage to make it work, there's no guarantee that it's fine. Construct mumbles something like, "The Grey Raven Commandant surely is a legend." His face contorts with frustration as he's depicting the pain of building a mind connection with some crazy constructs, all based on the groundless rumor he has heard. But the imaginary pain apparently has little effect on his work efficiency. He quickly finishes setting up the device. Lee lets a quiet sigh. "I'll call Liv over to get you some emergency medical supplies just in case." As far as I know, no one has ever built a remote connection with a new frame. You sure about this? There'll soon be one. What I mean is that the new frame has not been fully calibrated for remote connections. It might take you a few tests before you can reach her, and trust me, the process won't be a walk in the park. You gotta be prepared. With some moments of strangeness, the sun startles, and even times when she's seemingly lost in her own thought, you've experienced the full spectrum of her emotions. It's just a change of her frame, but 21 is still 21. The most pressing matter at hand is to help them overcome the current adversity. Let's do it. Close your eyes. Alright. She realizes how different she is compared with others. In their eyes, she's just like a hairy monster. Was I 7 when I first saw them? It was a lone little wolf, seeking refuge in the tree hole. Exhaustion and hunger weighed heavily upon its weakened body, leaving it no strength to flee. As I walked closer, it showed its fangs to me friendly, but I could see its paws trembling. The elders warned us not to touch them. But their sense will be changed because of that. If it returns to its pack, it will be rejected by its family. His why? The sense of hearing is freed from the ringing noises first. The ears above start to turn left and right by themselves, trying to chase the drifting sounds lingering around. Then his sense of smell that comes back alive. A rich herbal aura carried by the gentle breeze flows into the body through the air. The night dews, yet to be dried by the morning sunlight, cling to the leaves and grass, impart a gentle coolness in palms and feet. With an instinctual surge of power coursing through the muscles, their hands tighten, their sharp claws effortlessly puncturing through the tender grass, delving deep into the moist soil. Something feels off, but as the eyes open, the grey pupils are immediately struck by a blinding light, which causes them to concentrate uncontrollably. Once the pupils become accustomed to the brightness, the light grey figure finally gains a clear view of the world around. A little white wolf rises to her feet, shaking off the clinging soil and leaves her from her fur. She takes a moment to observe the shelter where she had slumbered, and lifts her gaze toward the forest, whose entangled branches and stems appear even more majestic than before. As she sniffs the moist air, her nose detecting an array of familiar and serene smells. One scent in particular draws her attention. It comes from somewhere nearby. "Go track it down," a voice in her mind prompts her. Her pace quickens upon that thought. As she jumps over twining roots and darts through lush brushes, the scent grows thicker. Picking her head from the bush taller than her, a captured sight comes into view. A wolf pack, peacefully resting in an open space ahead, their bodies nestled closely together. Startled by the noise, the wolf swiftly stood up, their gaze fixed in her direction. Should she directly walk over and join them? However, all the wolves appear on high alert, their muscles tense. Clearly her arrival was not meant with a warm welcome. The tense sound persists for nearly a minute. Then out of nowhere, a shrill scream pierces through the air, shattering the silence in a flurry of urgency. The wolves swiftly come together, forming a cohesive unit, and dash towards the depths of the forest. Predators, a voice in her mind prompts her. Run. The little wolf is left perplexed by the pack's vigilant reaction to her presence. Doubt lingers as she ponders whether blindly follow them would be a wisest choice. Time is running out. Driven by fear, her body instinctively takes charge, acting before her mind. Her lungs carry her swiftly to the direction where the pack disappeared, her tail tightly clenched. The pack must escape from the pursuit of their airborne enemies, but the predators are just as familiar with the forest as the wolves themselves. As the chase intensifies, the little wolf, falling behind the rest of the pack, unwittingly becomes the primary target of her relentless pursuers. She loses count out of the ponds her paws flash through. The flowers trampled under her hurried strides. The little wolf's heart pounds relentlessly in fear, its rhythmic thumping echoing in her ears. If she were to spare the moment to listen carefully, she would discern the sound of her own body rushing through her body. After what feels like an eternity of weaving through the dense woods, the little wolf finally realizes with relief that the once persistent sound of the predators chasing closely behind her has faded. Taking refuge from a hollow tree root, the little wolf musters her courage and cautiously pokes her head outside. She peers around to ensure that there are no piercing gazes fixed upon her. The scent of the pack lingers in the air, intermingled with a natural fragrance of the surrounding plants. The wolves are still somewhere nearby. Must join them. Can't survive alone. A voice in her mind prompts her. Stopping before the pack once again, the little wolf stands poised and prepared, ready to face whatever challenge lies ahead. As the two pack leaders feast upon the flesh meat of their recently hunted prey, the unexpected arrival of the little wolf propels them into a defensive posture. They step up to protect the food, and a threatening roar reverberates from the deep within their throats. The little wolf remains still in the distance, her tail obediently hanging low, not showing any intention of snatching the food. With the acquiescence of the leaders, the remaining wolves who were waiting to feed cautiously gathers around, their eyes fixed upon the lone traveler who dared to venture into their turf. And their gaze of examination does not carry much more warmth than that of predators. The wolves sniff the little wolf one by one, examining her scent, assessing her presence. Some are teetering on the edge of losing their temper, their jaws ready to deliver a bone-crushing bite any second. Soon the pack leaders redirect their attention from the trembling little wolf back to their prey, whether it's her obedience or the possibility of her serving as a decoy to distract her enemies. They soon perceive her presence as a non-immediate threat. Sensing the change in dynamics, the lower-ranking wolves cease their aggression and retreat to their original positions of waiting. As the acceptance of the pack washes over her, the little wolf finally realizes the strain and soreness in her muscles. The wolves revive their playfulness as they wait. They rub their backs against one another, emitting sounds of contentment and affection and shared delight. Perhaps she will join their ranks, as the little wolf envisions the exuberant play. She cannot resist the urge to excitedly roll on the ground. However, the playful wolves abruptly spring to their feet, lowering their bodies in a cautious stance toward her, as if perceiving her behavior as unusual. Fortunately, the leaders conclude their feast at that very moment. After confirming that she poses no threat, the wolves eagerly pounce upon the remnants of their prey, relishing their meal. The little wolf swallows a mouthful of saliva, but she knows that it is not wise to join them now, or they would think she intends to challenge their pack hierarchy. Amidst the sounds of flesh being torn apart, she curls up, seeking to keep her body warm and minimize energy consumption. For days, the wolves have weaved through the boundless forest, deftly evading formidable predators while relentlessly pursuing their prey. The pack had grown accustomed to the wolf's presence, no longer startled by her movements. However, the carefree playfulness she yearned for remains elusive in her imagination. She only was allowed to stay far behind whenever the pack is moving or feeding. Even during the breaks for drinking water, she can only approach the water source once everyone has had their turn. If she is a member of the pack, the answer is positive, but why? In a display of frustration, the little wolf lowers her snout to the pond, observing as bubbles surge upward, bursting upon the water's surface. As the last bubble finishes the air, the water regains its pristine tranquility. She fixes the gaze for her in a reflection in the water. She realizes how different she is compared to the others. In their eyes, she's just like a hairy monster. Wolves carefree play, they rub their backs against each other in affection, which will remain forever beyond her reach. Because all she was on her back is a row of ugly fur, standing upright in perpetual fear. If she get rid of this fur, she'll become closer with her fellow wolves. Want to try it? A voice in her mind taps out. She carefully inspects her claws, their sharp nails rating in a cold gleam akin to the menacing peaks of the predators. As the tips of the claw make contact with her soft, warm chest, a searing pain radiates from the specific spot on her skin. Summoning every ounce of resolve, she forcefully drags her claw through across her chest. As though her fur is torn apart, her blood gushes out. Agonizing pain searches through her entire body. Instantly, once the white fur becomes saturated with a deep shade of crimson, does she look like more of her purple-red companions now? The little wolf shuts her eyes, retreating into the embrace of the darkness, hoping to reduce her pain through this escape. There she raises her claw once again. It hurts. It hurts so bad. The mechanical pain receptors pulsate with this separation, their intense stimulation fiercely awakening the mind. "21! Wake up! Sisk, out of my way!" She hears exhausted wrath in Vera's voice. What happened? Get up and work if you're awake. With a swift click, Vera sends a hedgehog creature hurling away from her. Without hesitation, follows up with a rapid slash through its repulsive body, while it remains in mid-air. As the creature's purple-red body fluid is propelled by inertia, it sprays outward, creating a strange, straight line on the ground. Right. Enemies. No. That linen. He fell in the water. Pull yourself together. The boy's beyond saving. You have to find a way out as soon as possible. If you were still knocked out like that, I wouldn't have ditched you here already. I can still fight. Your arm made contact with that water, and you tried to grab him. I only did a basic trick, so be careful, alright? It looks like we stumbled across upon the hedgehog creature's lair by accident while following him. That water is basically another red tide, maybe even worse. If it weren't for the new material your frame is made of, that arm of yours should have been cut off already. Casting a glance at the emergency gel flying on her arm, if anyone tries to make her attack moves. It works fine, but this place seems different. These trees are constantly growing. There were a few tremors coming from the ground when you were lying there, probably caused by their own overly wild growth. The smell of the campsite comes from above there. 21 carefully announced the sense in the air and then points in the direction behind Vera. Those plants are almost covering the entire sky. If we waste more time here, we'll be trapped forever. 21 surgery drags her gaze upward, only to be greeted by a sky fragmented into multiple pieces of interlacing branches akin to the colossal net descending from the heavens. At the very top of her sides, she spouts a faint, indistinct dark dots, the nature of which she can't discern. Damn it. If a guy like Noctis is completely made of bionic muscles were here with us, things would have been so much easier. Understood. Contacting Noctis. Can't get through. I've tried it already. None of the communication channels works. Not sure if it's because of this goddamn mutated forest. Let's retreat toward the direction you said first. To ascend further, maneuvering through the towering vegetation becomes inevitable. However, it is incredibly easy to become disorientated amidst their entangled growth. Vera carefully selects a handful of distinctly shaped tree knots, using them as reference points for steering, ensuring she can adjust their direction in a timely manner to stay on the course. Let me know whenever you feel we're off track. It's easy to get lost with these trees rapidly growing. Okay. Captain? Having just taken a step, Vera turns back and sees 21 looking up. The cluster of enormous vines, which is absorbed by the springing red tide, has expectantly given birth to an additional massive pod. The outer layer of the pod is stretched to its limits, nearly translucent, allowing a glimpse of a blurred black shadow within. It's moving. Dark shadow, like a newborn disturbed from its slumber, begins a relentless struggle with its cozy cradle. The massive pod quivers and quakes in response to its relentless movements. It's falling off. 21, out of the way. Interesting. Let's go. It's so cold. Help me. Anyone, please grab my hand. Alright, you can let it go now. Dad, Mom, Don't cry out loud. Monsters lurking by. Any noise will draw them over. But, Mum and Dad, they can never come back. This is the end of the world for you. They lured the monsters away from you, even if you left food. You have to pull yourself together, make sure the sacrifice wasn't in vain. I don't want food, I want them back. Shh. The woman swiftly clamps her hand over Lillian's mouth, while simultaneously stopping on the expired food that can be slipped from his grasp. Only after carefully seeing the shredding sounds of appear, the men and the women show a palpable sense of relief. Look, kid, I can't care less if you eat or not. All I need you to do is stay quiet. If you make a noise like that again, don't come crying to me when things go south. Take it easy. He's just a poor kid who just lost his parents not long ago. He's just joking with you. Here, take this. The woman pries open the lid of a slightly misshapen can and places it into Lynn's mud-covered hands. The touch of the cold metal sends a chill that surpasses even the frigidness of late winter roads, seeping into Lynn's fingers. Eat it, or your parents have died for nothing. The woman holds no intention of causing the boy sorrow, nor does she press him to embrace the harshness of reality. Her voice devoid of any inflection, the woman states the fact, treating it as yet another incident in their endless struggle for survival, just like the countless others that already happened. Tears continue to stream controllably from the child's eyes, flowing like an unending spring of sorrow and swiftly dropping onto the battered can. He gazes at the woman before him, her hunched back evoking memories of her mother's frail expression. Lynn, listen to me. Mum, Daddy, Dad's too tired to run. He just needs a little break. You see, Leland, you must hold that uncle's hand when you run as tightly as you can. Don't let it go, right? I gave him everything your dad and I have. He'll take you to somewhere safe first. But I want you to hold my hand. Mum, are you leaving me? Silly boy. The only reason I live for. That's why I'm doing this. Having said that, the woman choked on her words and simply chose to withhold them, unwilling to subject her child to the cruel realities of the world. It's a deal then. Remember you must hold his hand. Don't let it go, alright? Before hearing the answer from Lennon, the woman pushed him toward the leader of the survivor group with all the strength she had. Upon ensuring her child's safety beside the man, the woman mustered a smile upon her pallid face. With her hand pressed against the wound on her stomach, she resolutely dashed toward another path. Lennon, you must run fast like this, but faster. Run! From deep within her chest, she unleashed a final scream of despair, a piercing cry that cuts through Lynn's mind like a sharp bullet. He held the man's hand as tightly as he could. Though the hand felt not as warm as his mother's, nor as big as his father's, he still held it. All his strength, just as his mother told him. Hey, you going to eat or not? Are you going to stare into space? Leland can't help but clench his hand, his gaze fixed upon the woman's face. Suddenly he burst into action, scooping food from the can with his bare hand and shoving it in his mouth as he had been on the brink of starvation. Too much salt. So sorry. But the soup they had made with canned food always was really good. You can have some of my water, but don't drink it all. Leave me some. After rummaging through the pocket for a while, the woman retrieves a half-empty bottle of contaminated water and places it next to Lennon. Returning from his patrol, the man exchanges a meaningful glance with the woman. Then they step away and take the rest of the group, their voices hushed as they start talking. He must be injured. The man's gaze shifts towards one of their companions, currently taking a moment to rest. You sure? What are you gonna do? I saw him pour water onto his left calf. Don't even have enough to drink. No chance in hell he'll waste it on cleaning himself unless there's a kind of injury going on. So what else can I do? We already agreed that we're just traveling together and nothing more. Everyone should be on the same page except maybe that kid. That being said, the man catches a glimpse of the boy stuttering himself with the canned food, impatience evident on his face. If the boy's father hadn't given me that half bottle of alcohol last week, I wouldn't have even considered bringing him along. Couldn't care less about the food they left us. Supplies are just waiting to be snatched from all these corpses scattered around. Heh, and now I thought you still had some sympathy left in. Come on, it's just a kid. How about you adopt him as your son? For what? So you can bury my body once I die? I don't even have a body left to bury if those monsters have their way with me. That woman, she was something else. Didn't even bat an eye before getting herself killed, while the kid just clung onto me the whole damn way here. What the hell am I supposed to do? If he can prove himself useful, I guess he could tag along. See, That's why I've been trying to tell you. You just don't get it, but you might if you actually take him as your own son. Cut the crap. The woman giggles quietly, and an eccentric laugh making her sound like a twitching bat. Hey kid, from now on you're gonna start taking shifts with us for lookout duty. I'll teach you this for once in the morning. Just once. You better learn it. Can't have deadweight dragging us down right here, got it? And call me by my name. I'm not your uncle. Without waiting for Lynn to respond, the man proceeds towards his resting spot. The woman falls silent as well. She retrieves the water she just offered to Lynn and walks away. Lynn puts the empty can aside, his stomach so stuffed that he feels the urge to throw up. For the first time, he has finished the entire canned food by himself. For the first time, he has fallen asleep alone, without snuggling up to someone. With his eyes firmly closed, the boy prays that the food he recently ingested will quickly provide warmth to his body, guarding him with the freezing embrace of the lengthy night. Several days later. Ah, get away from me! Ah! A hedgehog creature hooks the clothes of the crippled man, never rises his feet again. More and more hedgehog creatures are drawn to the direction which buys vulnerable time the other people have already been drained of their frantic escape. Then spin up! The hunchback woman nods at him and makes an immediate turn, rushing toward a narrow path with a younger woman. I wanted to go that way. Drained from the relentless running, Lennon lacks the energy to calculate the chances of survival of each path. He tastes the metallic tang of blood in his throat, struggling to breathe like a dying horse, his overworked lungs protesting with every grasp. There's only one thing left in his mind, hold the uncle's hand tightly and live. But Lyndon has been forbidden from clinging onto the man for support since day one, so he can only resort to staying as close as possible to him. Ah! Having pushed his stamina well beyond his limit, Lynn's legs muscles reach a state of unquenchable fatigue. Caught off guard by a sudden cramp, his body gives way, causing him to collapse on the ground with an audible thud. The man running ahead quickly reacts to the noise of Lynn's sudden fall. He slows down and eventually comes to a complete stop, turning around to check on the boy. Uncle, wait for me. Filled with fear and desperation, Lennon raised his hand toward the man, begging him to be lifted from the ground. If he manages to survive here, we'll do anything for that man. I beg you. The man's gaze flickers toward the approaching hedgehogs, still at a distance. In a brief moment, hesitation flashed across his eyes. Then he swiftly retrieves a can of food from his waist pocket and forcefully kicks it towards the child. The metal can rolls across the ground, creating a piercing screech as it moves. Then struggles to rise, but the pain in his right leg hampers his efforts whenever he tries to put weight on it. It's lucky that he sprained his joint when he fell. Don't blame me. You're too useless. I've already done you a favor keeping you around for this long. That should be enough to repay whatever your old man did. I didn't even ask him for help in the first place. The woman's screams ring from the narrow path before drawing the hedgehog creatures at the crossroad toward direction. However, a couple are still approaching from overly suspicious of having sensed their prey. Having seen that, the man quickly disappears from Lynn's view without any hesitation. Wait for me. Lynn can't even feel his own tears as he cries out. He raises his hand high, his fingers trembling in despair, trying to grab anything. If there's anything that could save his life. Ah! Hearing the unique, uncanny noise made from the hedgehog creatures beyond, Lynn freezes in his position, holding his breath in fright, waiting for the scythe of death of God to descend. That's probably how they got Mum and Dad. It must have heard an alert. Anticipating the pain from being ignored to death sends a chill down his spine. I'm sorry, Mum. No one comes to save me. There's no hand I can grab. In fear and coldness, he gradually loses senses of his own body. It's so hot, Dad. Don't make the fire burn so much. As Lennon mumbles unconsciously, he reaches out to the rag, covering his neck, trying to put it to feel less hot. Jeez, Salons, there's a kid here. He's still alive. His body's cold. He's dying. Easy, let me take a look. Darn, it's hypothermia. Bring some blankets over. Dad, it's so hot here. Hang in there, kid. You're gonna be alright soon. Yeah, put him in my arms. My coat should be warm enough. There you go, be careful. Let's take a break there. The kid probably needs some time to recover. Ask Musa to take people for takeouts. No problem. Swallow's leg looks insane. Did he sprain it? My goodness. Gotta be gentle. Let's move that leg. You can rub his other foot to keep him warm. Huh? But I'm not really a fan of foot touching. Fine. Let's switch up. Rub his hands. Okay. It's noisy and hot. His nerves are weakened. Someone was holding his hand. It feels soft, warm, just like his mum's hands. What did Mum say again? Right, hold the hand, that hand and live. He's warm, eek! He's clenching my hand. Siren, keep your voice down. Mum? I'm not old enough to be a mum yet. I should be more like a big sister to you. Siren? You ever act like a real adult? Oh, you hear me, kiddo? Help me. Siren lets go of Lillian's hands, making space for Silence to talk to the boy. Sensing the desperation for those warm hands, Lillian hysterically raises his hands toward the two in front of them, as if drowning the water of despair once again. It's okay. You're safe now. Silence immediately holds the chapped little hand, indulging those frail nails that scratch some lines on the back of his hand. Don't go. Don't go. Don't leave me alone. Uncle. I'll do it. I'll do whatever you say. I can handle the lookout work. I can practice. I'll practice every day. Beg you. I still have cancer for cans. Yeah, only little. I won't be hungry. Lane struggles to extend one arm from the embrace of the robbers and pointing at the can of food on the ground nearby with his trembling hand. The woman next to Silence goes to pick it up and hands it to Lynn after dusting the snow off. But there's no strength left in Lynn's hand to bear its weight. With a clank, the can drops down in front of Silence. Please take it. Help me. It's okay. I don't need. Please, I beg you, take it. Lynn's gaze is fixed upon Silent's eyes, yet his eyes show no focus. He mumbles the same words. Again, fearing that he may hear something like, forgive me from the adult. Alright, I'll take it. As an exchange, you can stop roaring about. Stop roaring and have some good rest. You'll come along with us. Silence gently strokes Lynn's hand and wants to tuck the little hand back under the coat. But that hand is still clenching to his as tightly as possible, showing no sign of yielding. Don't worry, everything's alright now. I've come to help you. Whatever you call me, I promise. Everyone will come to help you. All you need to do is take it easy and have some rest. Have some rest. Ah. Is it? Yeah, remember. Everyone was good to me, so I must prove my value. I'll stay with you forever. I don't want to be alone anymore. Boss, Siren, Granny Vindiger, Dad, Mum. Oh, I feel awful. Where are you? Exerting every ounce of energy, the boy struggles in the red tide, trying not to keep falling, yet his effort proves futile. He opens his mouth and attempts to call everyone's name, but the tide moves faster than his voice, gushing into his mouth and corroding his voice inside out. Anyone, please, you're promised. He's now completely engulfed by the purple-red tide. Some changes are occurring in his body, yet you may forever lose the ability of feeling it. Saren, I knew you were here. I was right. The others were all here. You didn't lie to me. That's great. Thank you for your hands, everyone. Another victim of the red tide. This is actually voice acting.
誰の手でもいいから頼むよ。約束したのに。あれ、サラン姉さん。みんなもやっぱり見間違いじゃない。みんなここにいたんだ。ここはどこ？寒い。
There's no way this kid's alive. He should be dead.
早く戻らなきゃ。僕たちを呼んでいるところへ。そうだ。みんな親切にしてくれた。僕は騙されていなかった。よかった。みんなの手、よかった。僕はみんなとずっと一緒に。
Thus,
邪魔者が来たわ。やるしかない。21号。
he became a beast. Oh yeah, he's dead.
みんなの
He became another addition.
この地獄に連れてってほしい。もっとたくさんの痛みを感じ
Another addition to the swarm. Let's finish this. Where's he going?
そうだ。早く戻らなきゃ。僕たちを呼んでいるところへ。よかった。みんな待っているわ。
Did he aim me? How rude. Well, I'm with Miss Invincible, so most aggressive healer there is. So you don't have a chance, mister. How on earth did you manage to eat me again? Let's go. Shred up the boy. There we go. Chop them up to bits. How on earth he keeps grabbing me? Cheeky bugger. There we go. Look at those crazy eyes.
僕はみんなとずっと一緒に。
Alright. Huh. Am I really almost over? Yeah, I am. Black Rebellion. Knowing the black feathered arrow arrived the next instant, she quietly closed her eyes. But no. To know Scissors opposite she when the enemy's joint is immobilized, but Vera's blade, with her claw blade spread wide, she unleashes a fierce slash, tearing apart the purple-green hands with ruthless precision. The moment emits a human-like mumble as the chunks of flesh, triangle slices fall from its body, akin to fleshy sliced open stomach. Within 10 seconds, the purple-green chunks of flesh quickly dry up, resembling spoiled meat left for days. Soon all that remains is a mere skin, devoid of any substance of life. Melted into the soil? Anyways, we don't have time for that right now. 21, are you hurt? 21 takes a quick sniff from the body and shakes her head in confirmation. Captain, hand. 21's words bring Vera's attention to the crack on the right arm of her frame, from which the vital fluid is slowly sweeping out. That thing's hair got me, but I dodged it. As for nothing more than everyday triviality, Vera casually wipes off sweeping find a fluid of her arm, and her other palm retrieves already opened Jay's spell. To be fair, Vera's been through worst. After just 2 days, 2 sprays, the spray nozzle abruptly ceases to dispense any more contents, as this has uttered its final words. Vera gives the bottle a shake to confirm its emptiness and puts it back into her bag. 21. Do we need to adjust our direction? The smell of the campsite is weaker, but the direction is the same. Let's move. Stepping over a tree root and stretches across the path, Vera signals 21 to continue advancing along their planned course. Just as 21 begins to lift her leg, a piercing ranged noise cuts through the air, resulting in her ears, penetrating her depths of her mind. 21 collapses onto the roots before her, rendered oblivious to any pain. Her sensations are abruptly taken away, consumed by the glaring white light. Deprived of the ability to respond to Vera's call, 21 helplessly falls into a dazed state. Smell blood. So someone was injured just now. Who was it? The feeling of wetness comes from the pores. Little Wolf's eyes open, only to be greeted by a sensation of numbness on the other side of her stomach. Lowering her head, she finds a gaping wound where her food has been torn away, her paws stained with blood and fragments of her flesh severe as the grim reminder of the injury she sustained. The moment she comes back to her senses, the excruciating pain devours her. She holds it back with all her strength and inspects her reflection in the water. Good. The fur surrounding the wound is now dyed in vivid crimson hue. So now are her paws. Does that make she and her companions look more like that? The wolf stumbles toward the wolf pack, proudly displaying her dyed full to the other wolves. The companions previously huddled together in rest, swiftly rise and emit threatening growls, warning the little wolf in response to her bloody presence. Is the new color of her fur not thick enough? The little wolf comes to a halt, raises her paw once again. The wolves, as fisted with vulnerable adversaries, swiftly pivot and dash toward a more concealed area of denser vegetation. Before the little wolf can react, the ominous shadow swiftly departs past the little wolf's head, accompanied by a piercing cry emanating from the sky. It's the predators. Startled, she disregards her still bleeding wound, her focus shifting entirely on the urgent need to escape. Without a moment to spare, she propels herself into a desperate sprint. Within the pack, no longer in her sight, the little wolf relies solely on her sense of smell, tracking their movements through the faint scent lingering in the air. If she's spelling it wrong, the scent seems to be growing weaker. No, it's her running speed becoming slower. The adrenaline-fueled escape managed to divert the little wolf's attention away from the pain caused by her sustained muscles. However, she remains acutely aware that the pulsating veins on the side of her still bleeding stomach. As time passes, her limbs grow heavier with exhaustion, and the sound of fluttering wings echoes behind her head. She can sense the imminent danger, knowing that pairs of sharp talons lie in wait, ready to seize her soft, delicate neck. It's plunging now. The little wolf's pupils mirror in the menacing shadow, resembling a swift arrow hurtling through the air with deadly velocity. She hates her distinctive fur more and more at this moment. For seeing her impending demise, the little wolf halts her sprint, resigned to the grim fate of becoming a predator's meal. Knowing the black-feathered arrow will arrive in the next instant, she quietly closes her eyes. Unnoticed from a corner, Dark Bolt suddenly lunges forward, intercepting the feathered arrow aiming her, and stumbles alongside in a seamless motion. Opening her eyes, the little wolf is greeted by the sight of a mysterious black wolf engaged in a fierce battle against the god of death who had been poised to steal her fate. Moses Noctis. With its blade-like beak, the giant eagle clamps on the front paw of the black wolf, attempting to regain balance by fluttering its wings. Undeterred, the black wolf tenaciously gnaws at the bird's neck, ignoring the scratches inflicted by its prey's talons. A dense scent of blood permeates the air, causing the wolf to twitch her noisily and instinctively. Stirred by the primal thirst lying within her nature, she can't resist it, releasing a sounding roar of aggression. Treading upon the giant eagle, she has nearly exhausted his final breath. The black wolf gazes down upon this challenger. Immersed in the lingering thrill of the previous battle, the black wolf promptly reveals its formidable fangs, poised to plunge into the next violent confrontation. The experienced little wolf instinctively tucks her tail beneath, in some display of her recognition that she's no match for the seasoned hunter standing before her. With its claws, the black wolf suddenly grips the lifeless eagle, letting out the menacing roars that resonate from the depths of its throat. The little wolf is keenly aware that the black wolf before her would not hesitate to tear her apart should the need arise. Slowly she retreats, moving back to finding refuge within the dense foliage of a nearby bush. With its gaze still fixed in the direction of she departed, the black wolf eagerly begins to gnaw at the flesh of the giant bird. Cannot eat it. It was born to hunt wolves, a voice in her mind tells her. She concurs, as the only sexual thought in the presence of those airborne predators has always been to flee and seek safety. Then, that's with the black god of death who's devouring the flesh of a predator. Is that the path of madness that the wolf expelled by its pack, yet is still driven by the desire of survival, is destined to tread upon? Having satiated its hunger, the black wolf proceeds to meticulously clean its paw, where the blood continues to sweep from the two punctured wounds. Casting a glance toward the bush with the little wolf behind, the black wolf then staggers away in a different direction. As the black wolf departs, the tension gradually subdues. The little wolf cautiously emerges from the bush, ensuring that the scent of the wolf blood has significantly diminished. Her body drained of strength by the wound and the arduous escape, protests firmly, craving the replenishment of blood and flesh. Entrails of the predator emit an eerie aroma, tantalizing the little wolf's acute sense of smell, and presenting an irresistible invitation. With trembling limbs, she cautiously approaches the lifeless body of the giant bird, step by step. If you indulge in this forbidden feast, your companions will never escape you, a voice in her mind tells her. She involuntarily swallows a mouthful of saliva, her hunger instincts tormenting her rational senses. Even her vision becomes obscured by the fire of alluring redness. In a final flicker of consciousness, she manages to regain control just of her teeth and about to make contact with the flesh. As they awaken from the sweetest dream, she takes several trembling steps backward, washed over the wave of fear. Instinctively, she tucks her tail tightly and summons every ounce of strength from her flee from the scene. She doesn't halt her escape until peculiar aromas are completely absent from her senses. It's then she realizes that she has strayed from the course of her companions. Frustrated, the little wolf cries anxiously, meticulously sniffing her surroundings, only to arrive at the unfortunate realization she has lost the trail of her companions. What should she do? Run around, hoping luckily run into a boundless forest? She has never passed the same place here. In this forest of a size beyond measurement, she is alone again, just like when she first woke up. Having thought about that, the little wolf lets out a sorrowful whine. The more pressing matter is now that to survive by herself before finding the pack. Without companions by her side for cover and support, whether the pursuit of the prey or during the moments of rest, the little wolf can easily lose her prey or be detected by predators. Wolves are pack animals. This is etched within their nature. Every fibre of their being belongs for it, and she would have never sacrificed her fur to win acceptance of the pack. As the little wolf contemplates, a somewhat unsettling idea takes into her mind. What if she follows that fierce lone black wolf now? Her heart pounds unconsciously in the chest of wild thought. She left the lingering sneer, detecting the faint yet distinguishable odor of wolf blood. Perhaps she should learn to survive alone from it before finding her companions. She may be deterred from hunting predators. The skills are universal when it comes to hunting. If there's any unusual activity, the black wolf would likely notice it before her. However, it sees her as an enemy. Though lacking confidence in her ability to survive these menacing fangs, she holds her faith in her capacity to escape as long as she maintains a safe distance, unless the black wolf is pushed to the brink of starvation. In comparison to struggling to survive on her own, she realizes that she stands a better chance by following the black wolf. Moreover, time is running out for her. The scent of wolf blood is gradually fading, while it's masked by the fragrant aroma of plants. She will miss the opportunity to track the black wolf if its paw stops bleeding. The little wolf shakes her head and resolves to press onward diligently, discerning the lingering scent of blood amidst the surrounding herbal aromas. Very interesting. Death of a lone walker. She cannot help but stare at the eyes that have been accompanying her this time. The golden pupils are still open. It seemed like a vortex was about to pull her consciousness in. For days, the little wolf has been observing the lone wolf from a safe distance. Despite her strong desire to learn how to survive on her own, she finds herself unable to suppress her curiosity. Can a lone wolf really laugh on its own? Adopting the hunting techniques she learnt from the lone wolf, she has successfully hunted for the first time, albeit capturing a more vile that even managed to bite her paw during the encounter. Learning from the lone wolf, she now knows how to keep her ears alert, to sleep only lightly, and conceal her traces when predators soar overhead. Shiana literally sees the black lone wolf as a temporary instructor of sorts, even emphasizing if it is the fight for its life against its prey. Hidden within the bushes, fires reaching higher than the fur on her ears, the little white wolf ponders whether they could be regarded as companions of a peculiar kind. Though she has not yet found an answer, she remains steadfast in her resolve to choose the pack if the option presents itself. Suddenly she hears the lone wolf erupting into a sprint, accompanied by an cacophony of countless wings fluttering high above. Rather than immediately following the wolf, she lowers her body and conceals herself in the swaying grass. If she were to emerge from the grass at this moment, she would undoubtedly be spotted. The giant eagle soars the direction where the lone wolf fled, seemingly have clear target in their sights. Nervousness grips the wolf as she realizes the lone wolf stands no chance against such a formidable number of enemies. Once she's certain the predators will not notice her, the scent of the lone wolf seems to have already drifted far, far away. While still maintaining a cautious distance, the little wolf can't help but pray for the black wolf's safe escape. After a short while, she senses that something is amiss. That familiar scent of blood once again wafts into her nostrils, suddenly growing stronger. The little wolf navigates through the tree holes and dense bushes, carefully controlling her movements as she draws close to the source of the scent. Finally, before a certain cone of grass, a fire of destiny, she comes to a halt and peeks into her most discreet way. And he became prey. The surrounding bushes are battered, with fragmented branches and scattered leaves strewn across the ground. The black wolf lies silently on its side, and blood seeping into the soil beneath staining it with the darkest hue. Its two paws are absent, replaced by exposed broken bones and remnants of torn fur. Its scarred body has vanished, and tiny, only grey-white ribs jutting out of its body has been instead. The predators gripped the wolf's body with deadly ferocity. Their hold as firm as the wolf clenched the lifeless giant eagle. Without a shed of concern, they tear into the entrails, greedily devouring its flesh. During the frenzied feast, still steaming blood spatters everywhere, with some droplets even landing on the grass where the little wolf hides. The little wolf's claws as if they dig into the soil, her delicate paws counting the underlying touches of rocks, and serving as a reminder of her to remain completely silent. She cannot help but stare at the eyes that have been accompanying her all this time. The golden pupils are still open. They seem like a vortex that's about to pull her consciousness in. This is the ending that the lone wolf cannot divide, a voice in her mind tells her. This time, the voice seems to emanate from the very skull of the lone wolf, his eyes locked with those of the little wolf, not allowing her to take her eyes off. Look at it. Have you thought about why it failed? The little wolf freezes in her position, integrated by the dead wolf in her mind. She does not shift her gaze away. Have you thought about why it could defeat the wolf eater? Wolf eater? The giant eagle chasing after her? Because it had a great fighting skills? No, because that wolf eater deviated from its collective too. It staked on one bet, choosing to multiply as your flesh and blood. So its death was predestined. Its death possibility was raged much higher, without the collective. Part of you has been accepted by a collective. In this case, you may deserve a fortuitous invitation. Will you join the collective? As the dead wolf's pupils twitched rapidly, the scene before the little wolf's eyes transitioned back to the moment she first encountered the wolf pack. It was in your mind you want to be part of it. The little wolf gives a nod and a blank look on her face. She's indeed held a strong longing for acceptance for a long, very long time, so potent that she was willing to tear her own stomach for her apart. Why can she feel a hint of hesitation in her heart? Come over, the collective will accept you. The little wolf gazes this pack ahead, the careful replay scene she has imagined many times, rubbing against each other, chasing after tails in the sunlight. Slowly she makes her first step. The wolves notice, and the little wolf as she approaches. However, contrary to her recollection, there is no sign of weariness or rejection from them. The two of the wolves raise to their feet, only driven by curiosity. Drawing brushes over her as she senses the warmth of rush of blood flowing her limbs. And the little wolf resumes her walk, taking a second and third steps toward the wolf pack. However, pain etched deep in her bones remains manifest as she moves closer. She can feel something is changing in her body. If the snake is shedding its skin, Level 3 collects the pain she endured, though she torn away her own fur. Yes, it feels the same way, yet amplified to such an extent that it engulfs her entire building. Fret not, the collective will accept you. Shall Ivani have the same scent as her companions? Yes. Alright. Finally, the thing she always longs for. Scent. The scent of companions. The scent of humans. "21. 21, can you hear me? Who? 21? Similar destination. 21, how's the situation with you and Signal, for precise? Who's talking? Who's talking in my mind? 21, this is Vod, can you hear me? Zod, remember now, Grey Raven. Where am I? Where's Captain? Emnes? With her weapons raised, 21 emits a warning sound to the animal-like Hetra creatures, which watch her with a friendly gaze. Are you separated from Vera? I don't know. I got here somehow. You are being interfered with. I'm not. Wait, who are you talking to? Black Wolf, but he died once just now. What does that mean? You said this is what you want? What I want is the scent of humans. You're enemies. Enemies? No. What you want is the scent of your kind. 21, who are you talking to? What are you? She hears no answer, or rather, she cannot discern the answer. If she were to make a guess, it's becoming attempting the impossible. 21? What you want is true companions. Right. Captain, no, you're not her. Ground rage comes from deep within her throat as her body is gradually filled with anger. Say something to me. We'll connect you with you in a way, any situation. We'll accept your entire being. Become a collective like that. Every individual will sacrifice themselves for the will of the collective. As they wanted. Become one with your kind. As you wanted. Become one with your kind. No more thinking about what you are. You have witnessed the death of a lone being. The fragment illusions shift and transformation before 21 eyes, morphing the Black Wolf into Fira into Noctis then to 20, etched in her memory. Finally, it twists in the form of 21 herself. You, lonely demise, end. Your end. Make your choice. You can come over. You bring them over. 21 remains unresponsive, the fluctuations in mind, mirroring the rhythm of her heartbeat, pulsating within her frame. After a brief pause, she musters the strength to call out the name she believes in she may depend on. Svod, I'm here. It says that I want it is not the scent of humans but my own kind. Actually, it's right. 21 wants to have the same scent as everyone. By everyone you mean Captain, Doctors, Slod, those who are afraid of me, want to be discarded. All of you are humans, so I have the scent of humans. Personally, I think it's only something very difficult to achieve. Even humans are not all the same. There's no way to guarantee that someone will always be your kind. Even your teammates won't, except for yourself. Only you yourself are always your kind. The question posed by 21 is quite complex. If you had enough time, you would likely delve into a dozen philosophy books and conduct thorough research before having a discussion with them. Putting rational analysis alone is insufficient to navigate the present circumstances. You only hope that 21 resists the tempting rhetoric of the enemy and refrains from guaranteeing the opportunity to manipulate her. 21. I'm hoping for you to come back. Give me some more time. But I'm going back to Captain. She speaks with a resilient yet unemotional tone, her head held high. If you... What you say is true, Zod. It's fine. I can learn from humans. Reject. Still choose that path, then walk down that path. The other part of you will see its choice next. The other part of me? What do you mean? No response received, only a piercing buzzing that echoes in the aftermath of disconnection, reverberating within 21's mind. Simultaneously, searing pain flashes in your consciousness. Commandant, your nose is bleeding. Take this first. It'll make you feel better. As you open your eyes, you find Liv standing before you, already holding the medicine. Your hands tremble as you take the pills and swiftly toss them into your mouth, swallowing them all at once. You shake your head, declining the water that lives off you, as you feel the urge to have your senses and nerves stimulated by the bitterness of the medicine. Disconnected again. This is too unstable. I'm lucky enough to even connect with her. Commandant Zod, you should probably take a break first. No matter what repeatedly attempting to connect and getting disconnected can really take a toll on your body. It's okay, I'm experiencing that. Huh? Oh, alright. Has 21 lost it? Where's Vera? How's she not doing anything about it? They might be in a tough spot right now. We should go and help them. Let's get ready. As the Gobbler forests rapidly expand, Noctis has helping the people from the conservation by removing hedge creatures that had accidentally wandered too close. After safely evacuating everyone during the earthquake, he has been anxiously waiting for further instructions ever since. Upon briefing him the latest information, a rare seriousness settles upon his face. He rummages through his tactical bag and proceeds to load his handfuls of compressed bombs from the ammo box. Let's blow that wooden lump to pieces and nick those two out, eh? Got yourself the right person for the job. Commandant, there's an aircraft coming our way. Judging from the insignia, it would be the Purifying Force. Purifying Force? Is there any tracking mission already? No idea, let's go and talk to them first. I think Vera mentioned this earlier. The folks are probably here for an errand, delivering the supplies you asked for the higher-ups. Commandant, shall we ask them for their help? They come from the southwest. If they were heading north, they could avoid that area. Direct contact could be risky, so it might be an option for them to move with us. Moreover, they might be carrying more advanced communication devices, which would prove a safer means to contact Papalonia or Cerberus. Right. Lay gives you a nod before focusing the tent, prepared to discuss with the approaching Purifying Force members regarding the next course of action. Through the gap of the raised flame lamp, red and golden sunlight streams outside. You peer out of the corner and behold the vast forest bathed in warm light of the setting sun. Beneath the dazzling glow, the forest appears as a majestic marvel of nature. However, it's not the craft of nature forces, but rather the tireless work it adds. They seek to gnaw the destiny of mankind. The will of the collective, of such words also mentioned in the conversation between it and 21. The individual plants merge seamlessly into a unified entity. It is the damaged roots that necessitate the exchange of life, sustained fluids, weaving together and patch the entirety. Creating a collective is a means of survival, yet the distinct boundaries of each individual serves a fundamental cause for longevity of diverse beings, species, even the entire world. It is the presence of each individual that lends the profound value to unity and collective contribution. Hey there, 21 and Vera. And you can have your teammates address your doubt in that familiar lounge of yours. So make sure to come back safely, will you? Lone Wolf's border. Well, I actually need to use the restroom. But we're almost close to finishing the story. It's not as long as I thought it was. I'll be right back. Well, I'm back. I'm gonna rest my voice a little bit and collect all these rewards. And I'm gonna go with some gambling. I forgot to do this yesterday, so that's a bad thing. Ha. Well, I already done all of that one. Do you want to get this skin? Even though it's quite an old skin. 3 years old, in fact. Yes. Well, close to finishing the... It's the wrong way to go. I'll just press this and just go this. Oh no, this is the most recent one. No. What am I doing? Chaos on Stairs, what I want. Lone Wolf's Border. Alright, let's go. Well, she is banded up. Ugh. Shock caused by mind functionation forcibly severed the remote connection, stirring up intense pain, stunning 21 senses. She shakes her head, trying to make sure the swelling would stop. Well, this was the most that Vera's ever been beaten up. Captain? Vera's gas pulls her suddenly back to reality, but immediately afterward a strong smell of vital fluid invades her recently regained sense of smell. Yo, 21! Vera smiled at her casually like a morning greeting. Despite the vital fluid sweeping from her wounds with various signs scanning her face, arms, and body. Should be just across the body. Countless bodies of hatchet wolves surrounding Vera 21, some battered, some with indiscernible parts, and others already wizened. The only intact spot is where 21 collapsed. With her blade, Vera fends off the purple-red sea of wolves, with vital fluid splattering across around its coastline during the fierce engagement. Some drops even land onto 21's body. Fighting wrestling till now, the construct known as Red-Headed Death shows number 21 a smile of ferocity lingering from the battle. Yet her hand is surprisingly trembling while holding her blade. Captain! The vital fluid in the body, fueled by intense elevated emotional index, circulates the body, boils rapidly, resembling a volcano on the brink of eruption. You're done with this round? Softly posing a question, Vera collapses onto the ground as 21 kneels beside her. The boiling volcano in her chest swiftly cools down, with coldness creeping into her body from the ground. She had disregarded the once raging impulses triggered by imagining the loss of Furor Noctis. The reality before her feels unreal, so unreal that she has entirely dismissed the sensation she recently regained. Are you going to cry? Amused, Fear observes 21's expression, but there's no time for them to waste. Time's running out, so I'll be straight with you. 21, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you recently. I busted my ass to get you this new frame. However, the development rights are transferred all by Nikolai. The problem is probably you yourself. I don't know what kind of human scent you want to have, but seriously, do you really need that in Cerberus? Everyone has it except for me. They and I are not the same kind. That's why they want to discard me. Being discarded, I don't want to. Huh? Who are they? You mean you are going to die if someone asks you so? I don't want to die. Vera releases her weapon and places her hand immediately on 21's shoulder. Next moment, she tightens her grip on the thin, pale neck chained by the restraint guard, her hands stained with vital fluid, applying pressure on those pulsating veins. I can't believe you're allowing yourself to get this stupid. Mother Vera is here to put the facts straight. It's time to step up and take responsibility for yourself, 21. Quit living in this fantasy of wanting to be everyone else, of passing the buck on to others. Humans stay together because this is their way to utilize each other. Whether it's you or the dumbass Noctis standing in my way one day, I won't let either of you just walk all over me. It's just a coincidence that our squad is named Cerberus. Don't tell me that you're actually thinking seriously and planning to become a good little puppy. But experiments, that's why I live. When I got you out of the dirtiest lump, you were nothing more than a heap of metal scrap. Now I see your brain is still buried among all that junk. Remember, I make you obey because I can. Don't take it for granted and be obedient to everyone else. I told you that I hate idiots who get themselves trapped. The most. You forgot that already. Fur keeps her gaze fixed on 21 while exerting more force in her grip, causing vital fluid that was on the verge of clotting to gush out from the cracks in her frame once more. Compounded by the intense aggression in Fura's eyes, 21 senses the powerful force emanating from the restraint on her neck, yet she remains unable to divert her gaze. You think this dumb thing can really hold you back? Well, there are plenty other collars in the world, visible or invisible. Can you be sure that your so-called humans aren't one of them? Stop trying to blend in like all the other humans. Why not make those nobodies understand who you truly are and what your principles stand? Whether it's with your claws, teeth, or your craziness defined by others, start making your own damn decisions already, instead of living up to the others' people's expectations, like some kind of pet. If you're going to keep acting like a coward, you might as well get your ass back to Kurono. The members of Cerberus are all defiant lone dogs. Lone dogs, that's how Fura describes them. Because each of those souls never contemplates blending into their surroundings. The boundaries of their individualities always remain clear. They harbour no fear of being different from others, nor do their companions concern themselves with such differences. Despite being criticized as a collective of freaks and monsters, their sole task is to tear apart any enemies daring to challenge them. This is the most monstrous way of self-defense, like moths drawn to a flame. They prefer to fight to the death with their heads held high, rather than relinquish their individuality. Number 21's thought about various methods of defending her squad, but as an experimental subject from birth, she refused to perceive this world from her own perspective from the very beginning. She always the one being calibrated, one being allowed, being deployed, and being approved. Emotions beyond her control were forbidden as they clashed with practicability. Unacceptable behaviors were to be concealed as any criticism directed at 21 would affect everyone in Cerberus. Due to her strong desire to cherish this den that had brought forth many new and familiar feelings, 21 found herself compelled to abandon those pieces of herself that can't potentially harm it. Initially, 21 believed she was different from the others because she lacked the common sense and knowledge about the world. After countless days and nights living the real world outside the Research Institute, 21 has been slowly losing the boundaries of her identity. As she continues to sever pieces of herself that from the already fragmented boundaries, what remains can only form something that she finds perplexing. And this confusion has become the color of hysteria. It serves as a deceptive lifeline clutched by 21 herself. It is surely a chain wrapped around her leg. However, no defiant lone dog would permit themselves to be chained. A defiant lone dog has the ability to resist being chained. Whether it's her or somebody else who holds the leash, the fangs are always ready to be bared as long as her body is functional. In 21's mind, numerous shimmering shards akin to snowflakes suddenly flash, reflecting what she had previously dismissed, rejected, and buried deep within her. While 21 has been shaped by the world, these shards of her true self were scattered all over. However, during that time, she found herself unable to determine whether she should reclaim them or not. Fortunately, she has now found what she believes to be the correct answer. She realizes that she must defend her own boundaries, first and protect everything she holds dear within her complete self. Suddenly, she feels the weight of this framework she didn't quite align with the initial expectations, becoming lighter. At that moment, 21 decides that her vision of the human form can include bionic ears, tail like a balancing device. She no longer viewed these traits as indicators of being not like a human. Prior to this, the highly perceptive sensors and explosive power possessed by this frame more or less intimidated her. She was afraid of losing control over her power and herself. She made a choice to reject that power. But now she begins to feel the surge of excitement for the power she can possess. Unbeknownst to herself, Tony was undergoing a rebirth as a new whole entity within her metallic body and data consciousness. Without a fixated form of either human or animal, this one's more liberated, one that bears her unique name, 21. Take this. Noticing that 21 has regained some of her senses, Vera's drugly furious expression fades, and she retrieves a slender device from the slot inside her frame. From now on, the decision is yours to make. If you're locked and restrained, there's a good chance you'll get in trouble once we return. However, if you feel that you don't need the full power of this frame, you can still choose not to do it. Your leash is in your own hand now, 21. Captain, keep your mouth shut. I'm not kicking the bucket just yet, but I can't promise how long I'll stay awake. Let's just hope I don't pass out before we make our escape. Keep an eye out for the buds. Once those nasty creatures start melting away and seeping into the soil, a new group of hedgehog creatures will be born from those buds soon after that. We can't last long against a number of enemies. We must push forward as fast as we can. Get me up. And the funny thing is, 21's actually older than Vera. I think. Well, her mental age is older. But actually older. I need to check. 21 carefully puts the restraint key away and helps Vera up. If we go from here, the direction... 21 has an increase in airflow coming from that direction, and the scent of hedgehog creatures is significantly diminished compared to when she woke up. Subconsciously, 21 increases the computing speed of her frame, allowing her processing capabilities to accelerate. She has the faint sensation that she and Vera are standing on the tongue of some colossus creature. And it won't be long before the forest reveals its fangs, unleashing its ferocious might to tear apart and consume them for their own growth. They have been to run now, as fast as they can. 21 lifts Vera up comfortably, attempting to share some of her weight, but her movement inadvertently causes Vera to gasp in pain and grip 21's shoulder tightly. I've had enough rest. Can I walk by myself? 21 nods before releasing her hand. Suddenly, 21 turns her head aside, hearing a faint buzzing sound in her mind, followed by a static noise. Come on, give me a break. 21, hear me. Sword, he's in my head. Oh, the saver always arrives in time. Vera's alright, thank goodness. I'm surprised that Percy thought about using the remote connection. I'll give out a pass this time. Captain injured. I need to save Captain. 21, don't play the big hero here. You were lying on the ground this whole time. How's Vera? Captain, what medicine do you need from Zod? Seems to fall beyond the confines of Thrawn's knowledge, so she chooses to directly ask the wounded herself. Ask Noctis to bring 3 emergency kits from the medical box for simple treatment. Nothing more can be done now. 21, tell them the direction to the meeting point first. Vera lifts her head to gauge the angle of the setting sun and provides some general instructions based on the retreat direction 21 pointed out. Got it. We're leaving to meet you right now. The connection signal might become unstable during the travel. I'll cut it off now to reduce your computing power consumption. Okay. Sword disconnected. Said the signal would be unstable. The smell has changed. They might be coming. Let's move. Captain, you stay at the front in the direction it changes. I'll tell you. I'll be in charge of the rear. Jeez, look how reliable you are now. Then do your job well and let me have some rest. After all, I did the work of 2 while you were laying on the ground. Got it. I understand. As the sun sets, the shadows lengthen, only to be abruptly fragmented by the branches of the surrounding trees. Vera glances at a swaying, agile fragmented shadow in the grass, belonging to 21, who stands with her back to Vera, visually observing the surroundings behind them. A smile grazes Vera's face as she leads the 2 of them, walking toward the sun that is slowly descending. Sniff, sniff. Another wave of hedgehog creatures. Yeah, I can feel it. The smell keeps changing. Phew. Captain? Just a bit tired from all that fighting. Ah, okay. I remember the time we were at the Daedalus waste dump. I should have told you how to move the injured back then, but you've proved to me that you have zero talents through your performance in healing. So, I just like what I did, lifting my arms when you emerged. You, the safest way to let the wound. Understood. Ah, make sure you teach Noctis when you're back. Ah, Captain! Pathetic. Captain? 21? I'll protect Captain until you recover. Ha, good. Then buy me some time. I have to turn off some frame modules to focus my computing power. Okay. Here comes the doggies. Hmm. Interesting, trying to protect Vera. A woman that usually doesn't need protecting, because she normally just kills things herself. There we go. Oh, there's still more. Jim sure loves to laugh. Still more. Wow, that's more for me to murder. Let's go. She really does glide around the battlefield. Well, she's a, what's it called again? A frame type. A class. She's an amplifier. Go at full speed 21. So I reacted to that so slowly. It's not even actually hitting it. I wasn't expecting to witness some quick time events. They're all the same speed. Do I instant fail if I lose that? Oh well. Alright. Almost to the end. Might as well finish this up. We lost them. Okay. During the Arachnoid's pursuit of hedgehog creatures, the alloy part of Vera's leg became severed, pushing her mobility to an absolute limit. As several purple beast mouths loomed dangerously close, Dawn actively leaping high in the air with a powerful strike. She cleaves a giant tree as its waist, effectively blocking the direct path of the impending threat. Behind the severe trunk, the hedgehog creatures scratch frantically at the obstacle that stands between them and their intended prey. As more and more hedgehog creatures join the turmoil, the once sturdy wooden barrier, as resilient as a rock, begins to exhibit noticeable vibrations. 21 knows that it only is a matter of time before hedgehog creatures breach the barrier. However, the more immediate concern is ensuring they escape the virus before Vera falls hostile to the existence, becoming completely sealed off by the encroaching plants. Well, with lightning speed, the claw blades retract, and 21 swiftly positions Vera's arm over her shoulder, doing her best to share in the weight and support her. Vera ceased speaking unnecessary words, but 21 continues protectively addresses her regardless of what Vera may or may not utter. Captain, yeah? Left. At the end of the path, they encounter a horizontally growing tree. 21 assists Vera in squeezing through the narrow gap. Once she herself passes through as well, 21 promptly severs the giant branch, blocking the path and buying them additional time for their retreat. As 21 cuts through the throw steams consecutively, her wrists trembling slightly under the strain. However, she recognized that her own discomfort is significant compared to the hardships she has endured. Navigating through the narrow path, they are greeted by an open view. The rushing wind and gentle sunlight sneak in throughout the gaps, integrated by the web of tangled plants, the white and red-haired intervines blending together into a complex hue. Captain, light. We're there soon. Okay. 21's pupils contract violently, resembling those of an animal, as she meticulously calculates the optimal spot to step on the stairs leading to their escape. She can't afford any mistakes given Vera's dire condition. If the hedge creatures manage to breach the barriers and reach them, 21 forces her imagination to subside, redirecting her full attention toward observing the staircase formed by the interwoven plants. But instead of a staircase, it's more like a bunch-shaped plants interconnected by twisting vines running through them. The bunch-shaped plant of the far end appears to have completed a blossoming cycle, leaving behind any platform-like calyx. On the edge of the plant structure, there is a massive bud that seems in a state of partial withering, with an organ left that resembles a petal or the veins of the leaf. Utilizing the support provided by the leaf veins, they can make it to the top of the tree web, as not fully enclosed yet. Recognizing the potential danger they may face while navigating the vines between the calyxes, 21 decides to hide Vera in the nearby tall grass to ensure her safety, and they fall from the vines. And 21 gazes downward, and she's met with a slide of a treacherous swamp forms at the bottom of the forest. They were to land there, and would be exceeding difficult, if not impossible, to climb back to the current position before the relentless forest consumes them. She formulates a thorough rough plan and calculates the time. It will take her less than 2 minutes to scout the path ahead. Captain, stay here, wait for me. 21 feels a sudden urge of pain in her mind, as she deliberately chooses this moment to play a prank on her. However, the compelling pain is familiar yet somewhat strange sensation stirring in her mind, but she has no time to think about it. The white-haired girl swiftly draws out her sharp claw blades like a wild beast, and she dashes towards the setting sun ahead. Captain, hang in there. I can save you soon. It's Buddy! Was Buddy. You know, it's pretty sad. Why he just gets obliterated like that. I guess we're essentially finding it's Buddy. Buddy! Buddy, covered in dark purple growth, marks its mostly torn apart from inside out by some sharp claws. An unruly newborn emerges as carelessly shaking off the remnants of its former host, stretching its long suppressed body. From its elevated position, the towering creation gazes upon 21, its compound eyes scrutinizing her every movement. Even though 21 can no longer detect the familiar scent emanating from the creature, she stubbornly persists in calling by that name. Buddy? Is it you? And its light purple abdominal part starts to change color as the creature lowers its body. In a swift motion, the creature swings its colossal purple claws directly toward 21's head, seemingly as a response. A gust of wind caused by the attack frowns 21's balance, but she swiftly evades the cold and swift claws. Some of her light grey hair strands are severed in the process, and the spot where 21 just stood, a dreadful pit materializes. No, buddy, please. It's me. Dune's cold blades drop helplessly, hesitating to rip the throat of a looming threat in the same manner she limited her previous foes. Her body trembles slightly as memories of the past flicker before her eyes. She has never imagined losing Buzzy. In her mind, it has become an inseparable part of her being, a constant presence she took for granted, even over that of Vera Noctis. No one would have thought that part of themselves would be crumbled into ashes and rise again as their adversary. 21 feels deeply sorry for that. I see. The headache. It was because you were calling me, right? I'm sorry, buddy. I was too dumb to recognize your call for help. How could I? 21 lets out a sorrowful whine, akin to another lone beast bearing the loss of its pack. She stands alone in the hostile forest, feeling the gaze of everything around her as it leers, waiting to attack and tear out her throat. I'm sorry. Her voice grows faint, gradually fading until it becomes barely audible in a gentle breeze. Her pebbles remain poised, primed for the next assault, with lethal power capable of swiftly ending the life of any obedient prey. But, with her head lowered, 21 was staring at her sin in silence. Captain's still waiting. I can't let Cap be taken as well. A sharp pang shoots through the corner of 21's mouth, still reminded that she's still biting down on her lower lip and utters these words. I can't surrender here. Even if it's Buddy, I can't. I'm sorry, Buddy. I will punish myself. But I have to take you down here. 21 really does have the sucky life. Never grew up as a normal person. Raises to be like any other human. Well, we're gonna turn this boy to pieces. This girl is beyond needing therapy. Therapy is not gonna save her. Let's just tear it apart until there will be nothing left. There we go. Perfect dodge. Now let's go to the second phase. There we go. When does the spikes come down? Because I don't know. I swear with each new character they release, it's a near impossible game like some of these combos. Because they need as long as supers. Even though it looks cool. And I guess the combo system is definitely a relic from the past. Oh. Second phase. Now I can fly. Now we're really fighting against the wolf pack. I'm just gonna keep swing. Oh yeah, I thought I hit that. No, I actually gave my so. Now I want my health back, and I'm gonna take it back from you. Taking every single little drop. What the attacks you meant to hit? There we go. There we go. Tear you apart. With shields and healing, you'll be dead. Here comes the wolf pack. There we go. We're gonna shred them all up. I can just walk through that with no problems. Let's go. Beautiful. We don't need to worry about the wolves. We need to kill the legendary wolf Fenry. The amount of games that uses Fenry is ridiculous. Alright, we're gonna put the good boy down. He's no longer a good boy. And he's dead. No big surprise. Let's go, 21. His damn roots. Ouch. Whole place is moving. Actually, we get to see her hands for the first time. Time to release the fame. All the cavalry's here. Look at her. She's all grown up now. Ravaging dark shadow erupt emerges, catching everyone off guard as the force breaks through from the confines of the forest. The one expansive forest now appears to shrink and contort in egg shape. Amidst the interplay of searchlights and darkness, the shadow springs forth with remarkable swiftness and height, resembling an untamed bird soaring over the black egg. Driven by an unwavering determination to be born into this world again, all odds the creature must in turn use its newborn claws to destroy the other world known as its cradle. The lingering ferocity and thirst of the blood emanate from its very being, evoking aggression from every present, and react with defense hostility, issuing a warning to its frenzied entity. Everyone holds their weapons. If this is a newborn enemy, they will eliminate right now, then and there. It rises to its feet, dark coat stripped of its obscurity under the piercing glow of the searchlights. It's 21 and Vera. Yeah, we are fine now. These two are too dangerous to be left alone. Wait, drop all your weapons. They live and a handful of nearby constructs are taken aback by your yell. However, the rest of the group remains poised, weapons still held firmly. Dylan's frame heaves as she breathes heavily, both she and Vera drenched in feverish, vicious purplish red fluid. Her frame reflects the dazzling light, marking her look more like a beast succumbing to her primal instincts in a bloody fray. The beast gazes at the startled constructs of piercing intensity, as meticulously searching for weak points of its prey. This is bad. Recalling the signs of stress that 20 has exhibited before, an alarm bell rings in your mind. Without hesitation, you step forward and ready to shield 21 of your own body. You must get there before other people misread the situation. Probably holding the same idea, Noctis forcefully pushes aside the constructs in front of him as he yells out at everyone present. Hey, drop your weapons. Are you all deaf? I am. The maiden who resembles the white wolf yells out as the chest heaves finally for a moment. It's the first time that you or maybe even Noctis have heard such a clear, powerful shout from 21. I am 21, from Cerberus. 21 locks eyes on onlookers. Some bewildered, some fearful, others perplexed. She stares back at the weapons leveled against her with unyielding resolve. Embodying a proud lone wolf, this Araz challenges this mist of glare. Captain is injured. She needs treatment. The weapons and the hands gripping them remain frozen in their position as 21 persists in yelling at her need. Unable to restrain himself any longer, just rushes forward and takes Vera from 21's arms. Get a stretcher! Are you effing lost? Hurry up and get saved for F's sake. I've got this. This is no good. The corruption levels greatly surpass the safety threshold. Quickly, move Vera here. The shell of the nest, shined by 21 Vera, continuously diminished in size, revolving at a rapid pace, if the water moving has been drained away. The method by which 21 Vera managed to create an opening in the rapidly expanding tree web remains a mystery to all. Nevertheless, you are all aware that it's not yet time to lower your guard. Lee? Leave it to me. Reacting swiftly to concern, Lee responds with an assuring nod before proceeding to coordinate arrangements with the members of the Purifying Force. Suddenly, your private terminal springs to life, emitting a frantic ring non-stop, as if awakened from a prolonged slumber. You turn it on, only to discover a flood of overdue messages from Babylonia and various contacts. Commandant, the communication signal is coming back. We can now reach Babylonia. There's still a significant delay. The Gobbler Forest is distinct, continuous to shrink. The recovery of the signal is likely due to 21 Furious efforts in destroying or eliminating whatever is causing the signal disruption. I'll draft a brief report about the situation and send it over. Okay. At this point, all that remains is to be patiently wait for the arrival of reinforcements and focus on mitigating the adverse effects caused by the hedgehog creatures until they arrive. Fortunately, just before you depart the conservation area, the last group of civilians successfully boarded the transport craft. Recalling the expression in the eyes of those who had loved ones missing, you cannot help but ponder which is more cruel, the faint glimmer of hope, or the anticipation of the worst possible outcome. You aim to find answers for them, if possible, because everyone deserves their ending to be known. Oh wait, 21. Remembering an unexpected request, you quickly catch up to 21, who's walking alongside the stretcher. Are you alright? True answers with a nod. Her body adorned with scratches and wounds, though not as severe as reflected upon Vera. Can you imagine how painful the ordeal she endured? I came from the conservation area, and someone there asked me to deliver a message to you. Ah, Cannon. Before the operation, upon hearing your promise to do your utmost finding the answers, the last group of evacuees finally began boarding the craft. Sounds gives you a nod and shows his gratitude, his eyes concealing a multitude of other emotions. Other people walked away for a while. Girl who had been sitting aside quickly approached you. Are you with 21? Yes. Construct? You couldn't discern the department she belonged to based on the attire. As the son of Crane, she was familiar to you. Your men said that 21's companion went missing. The little white machine that can dance. Dance, you mean 21's cobot? She calls it Snore. It's missing. Sorry, I didn't know. Understanding the importance of the Cobot 21, to some extent, you realize that it had indeed disappeared. She could have been just as anxious as the refugees set off a minute ago. If you see her, could you help me deliver a message to her? If Karen sees Snore, she'll help keep it safe. No problem. Well, now we know that's impossible. Thank you. The construct in the peculiar attire turns around and without hesitation promptly follows the people from the conservation area, but maintains a subtle distance between them. After delivering a message from Canon to her, she falls into silence with her head lowered. While contemplating how to offer solace to 21 and formulating a plan to contact from her aid to finding Cobot, 21 breaks the silence ahead of you. It's okay. I've already found Buddy. My headache was probably because Buddy was calling for me. It was just too late. I figured out too late. What? After her return, 21 talks without looking into the other person's eyes for the first time. Evidently, 21 is not inclined to discuss the details at this moment. You can tell from the sorrow reflected in her eyes that the ending of Snore is the kind that people least desire to witness. Something has changed profoundly with 21, and you already felt when she showed up for you with Fura. The price paid for rapid growth often proves to be far greater than anticipated. In this world of natural selection, every advancement is achieved at the expense of sacrificing a part of oneself. Go get treated. You're not in a good condition either. After going back, you can come talk to me whenever you want. Okay. 21 lifts her gaze, acknowledging a suggestion. She briefly examines herself, then turns around and proceeds forward without hesitation. Well, time for the final part. The freedom defined by herself. The rest of the factors to grow in the land. One's subjective self, as long as the underlying soul is still fertile, still cultivate 3 souls that can break all limitation. At the Parliament. A few days later, in a confidential Babylonian meeting, the task force is still monitoring the situation and investigating the Hetru zone. Even now, projections of the conference room switch between several satellite images tainted in purplish red. The task force appears like a dark grey damp in the photos blocking off the oceans of omens. We have deployed several sets of Omega weapons since we were contacted. News from the front line this morning suggests that we need to double the deployment at the very least. Double the deployment? We almost ran out of Omegas after the Copperfield Aquarium. Some of our current stock is recycled. The weapons we sent over the past few days have already pushed our supplies and resources way below the safety threshold. To double it, I don't imagine anyone here wants to find themselves empty-handed during an emergency, right? Are we not discussing the emergency now? But I believe the construction department is worried about the confidentiality of this information. And of course, we're hoping to receive an analysis report that proves that the clean zone will not be affected. The data will certainly explain everything in confidentiality. Are you suggesting not to announce our reports openly and honestly? What are you talking about? Of course not. I'm just worried about that the incident will cause panic. Ladies and gentlemen, please stop. We're here to discuss how to handle this disaster and information discovered by our frontline squads. Although dialogues around the construction in the clean zone might be closely related to the hetero zone, I believe we can table this discussion for later. I'm sure I don't have to repeat how crucial the constructions and cleanliness of the clean zone are, right? Naturally, the publicity department has also spent a lot of work on it. The Grey Raven Commandant seemed to also contribute to the publicity work significantly. You understand, President Hanson? Since you mentioned Zod, let's hear what the Grey Raven Commandant has to report. I recommend saving your thoughts and opinions until the Commandant is done. Perhaps you'll see the situation differently afterward. Hanson nods at you, gesturing you to loosen the chin strap of your hat before standing up on your seat at the back. You have been sitting so far away from the center that it takes you much longer to reach the podium, and you get to enjoy extended gazes from everyone. And you have not worn your uniform since you sworn in. Extremely uncomfortable. There we go. Turns his back to everyone. Sup. What? The following analysis and theories are made based on the experience of Cerberus. The squad involved in the counter and investigation made by Grey Raven on the stage behaviors of the Hedgehog creatures. The memorable discussions making the quiet now as the data model Lee helped made spins in the projection. First of all, Grey Raven found the Hedgehog creature demonstrating group behavior during our investigation, which has never been seen before. The conference room that just quieted down erupts into discussions again. Henson gently knocks on his table, hoping the council will keep listening. We used to classify the aggression from hedgehog creatures as instinctive to behavioral in the past. It means they do not come up with a plan of attack. They follow their senses to attack their targets with the simplest, most straightforward strikes. That was the only pattern of behavior they would follow. At the location where the abnormal behaviors appeared, Grey Raven observed that some hedgehog creatures were performing strategic maneuvers to allow other hedgehog creatures to attack successfully. For example, when a trench appeared between the hedgehog creatures and their targets, some of them began to form a bridge. Even when forming a bridge would stop them from accomplishing their goal of attacking. Maybe you were overthinking it. In your example, the hedgehog creatures walking in the front fall into their trench. Obviously, the bodies piled up and the ones in the back could then walk into like a bridge. Fundamentally, they would still try to approach their targets. While the behaviors were similar, the key was whether they gained the consciousness to actively abandon their individual instincts and targets in order to help the group accomplish a goal. What Grey Raven discovered was that some hedgehog creatures were given their lives to pave the way for other hedgehog creatures. It's hard to explain this phenomenon with coincidence when the prize was their lives. Councilman frowns when he looks at you, his knuckles white as he grasps the horror in what you said. During an investigation, Grey Raven discovered an area where many dead bodies of similar hedgehog creatures were amassed, but we did not find a source that could deal that amount of damage. If we assume those hedgehog creatures took their own lives, what did they become a bridge for? Hold on. Indeed, my theory is that these strange behaviors are somewhat connected to the appearance of the heterozone. Grey Raven's submission didn't just take place near the heterozone. What was the point of building a bridge that far away? How did they contribute to the heterozone by dying? The Cerberus members mentioned that the biofluids of the dead hetero creatures inside the heterozone quickly seeped into the ground before hatching, as if being born again. I remember a myth about God creating humans from clay, that God created a humanoid shape of clay, the clay came to life. If the clay wasn't shaped to the god's satisfaction, it would get thrown back into the mud before remade. Is that what's happening now? What about electromagnetic disruption? report mentioned that the squads encounter severe signal disruptions during battles. The Science Council believes that the source of the disruption is akin to some kind of bioelectromagnetic signals that is related to activities and the rapid proliferation of the heterosome. The disruption drastically decreased after the Cerberus defeated the core enemies of the heterozone and escaped the parameter, which could prove this theory. Individual hetero creatures still don't have the ability to disrupt signals. So all the dead hetero creatures turned into the water gathered at the heterozone through the soil? That should have got someone to start digging. Squads at the front line have been investigating, but nothing unusual was discovered apart from a higher than average punishing virus concentration. The Science Council doesn't think we fully understand the punishing virus yet, so we can't be certain how it moved, but there's another way to consider it thus. If we think from the perspective of the clean zone, all the locations where we observe the hetero creatures change, including the heterozone, are spread outside the clean zone in an arc. To exaggerate a little bit, you could say that the mere step outside the clean zone will land you in a highly dangerous area. How could you say that? If that's true, I agree that the extra omega weapons are necessary. How can we allow the first zone of humanity to be a cage? Councilman from the Constellation are so agitated that he stands up from his seat. No response to what he's saying, however, he sits down back in silence. It is true that we don't know how clean zone or the infrared tower works. The most popular theory is that the Science Council is the absorption theory. The tower works like an omega weapon, absorbing the punishing virus before purifying it. The main reason this theory is not universally supported is that no punishing virus is detected even at the edge of the clean zone. While the effectiveness of our CVFs and omega weapons always diminish over long distances, that's the reason why we have always considered optimal range when we deploy these devices and facilities. Now, if the absorption theory is wrong, and if the heterodox isn't purifying the punishing virus, how do we explain the disappearance of punishing virus within the clean zone? Simply put, we cannot guarantee that the existence of a clean zone hasn't caused unexpected mutations. Mutations? If all hetero creatures grow behavior, the councilman covers his mouth, stops talking. Worst case scenario, they could develop their own species or even civilizations. They're full of silence as they recall some of the enemies they faced in the past they can only manage to defeat after shelling out way too much money and way too many lives. Working together, humans have time and time again won battles which they never seem to stand a chance. But just how good is humans' chances against such enemies when they are so resilient, so ready to bite humanity at the throat when their sheer number? No one can tell for sure. When things don't seem as bad, it's because they've been ordered to change their course of action. And there is this godlike figure behind them that gives them instincts. Aside from what that drives them to attack, that is, those instincts that make them prioritize the group when they are summoned. But now they don't have yet individual consciousness, which does buy us some time, but sometimes all we have left. Nikolai shakes his head as he looks this way. He and Hansen already know that 21 once fell victim to a known power when she was out of it, although no one has been able to determine if it was a cobalt infection that caused what happened to her mind through the consciousness sharing port, or whether that was indeed a godlike power that spoke with her, which is why you don't plan on mentioning what happened to her at this briefing. That's all I had to share regarding what happened to the heterozone. Based on what VODS just said, we're now at a point where no amount of omega weapons is going to do the trick. It sounds like there's nothing we can do now except to wait. But are we supposed to slow down on building the clean zone, or just give it up on it altogether? No, of course not. We can't afford to give up on the clean zone just yet. The omega weapon is an expensive consumable indeed, but there is no treating the symptoms if we don't first treat the root cause. And since we don't foresee the appearance of this particular heterozone as per Grey Raven's discovery, what we need to do now is keep the heterozone in check while monitoring its surroundings as to avoid or foresee the appearance of another heterozone. Well, let's just hope that Lunar Base can be back up and running again in no time. We get our hands on those more omega weapons to fill the gap. In an hour that follows, the group finds themselves frightened, fighting over the disruption of resources. The resource shortages seem everywhere prior to the heterozone, being made worse in its appearance. Beyond a particular or psychological level, humanity can only use a clean zone to help themselves get back on their feet, which is why humans can't afford to stop building at this point. Issues to be solved and needs to be taken care of with a spin on, and on your head. brain work like this, no easier than physical fighting in the war out there. Walking out of the meeting hall, you find your uniform soaking wet with sweat. Phew. The door of the sitting room opens the moment you finish yawning, showing the hallway outside. You're more familiar that you're with the meeting hall. Before you start doing anything again, you know you want to head straight back to the lounge area and keep yourself clean out of a set of outfits. Stepping on the elevator, you see Sinka. In a rush to fully focus on reading on her terminal, she takes no notice of you. Hey, you got a wedge out there? Oh, right, of course. Come and dance on. Don't sweat it. Just thought you should probably keep your eyes on where you're going just to be safe. Right, of course, thank you. Turning off her turner was thinking nowhere's her usual smile, her heavy face from moments ago, nowhere to be seen. Before the screen of her terminal went completely black, though you saw what was on it, was a witness report on a certain construct had gone missing. You represented her with a smile as you waved her goodbye. Walking down the empty hallway and taking a turn, you see a quiet figure leaning against the wall, apparently waiting for someone. 21? It's you, son. Waiting for someone? With a nod, 21 points at the door that's tightly closed. I'm waiting for Captain. You read the sun door. The room appears to be in a public lounge that doubles as a mini room on a regular basis. You wanted me to give you some more time. Beg your pardon? In my head before, you wanted me to give you some more time when we were back. Why do you need more time? Swan, I'm here. It says that I want is not a set of humans, but my own kind. Actually, it's right. 21 wants to have the same sin as everyone. By everyone, you mean Captain, Doctor, Sword, those you're afraid of me and want me to be discarded? All of you humans, so if you have a set of humans. Personally, I think it's something to achieve. Even humans are not the same. There's no guarantees they'll always be your kind. Even your teammates won't, except for yourself. Only for yourself, you're always your kind. The question posed by 21 is quite complex. Yeah. 21, I'm waiting for you to come back. Give me some more time. I was hoping that you'd come back home first, so I could fill in the details and make things easier to understand for you. I see. You said humans were all different, but I never find someone like myself, other than myself. Which is why I don't need to smell like human anymore. I have my own smell. Should I just set myself free like what Captain said? Freedom, huh? What was your freedom like then? Freedom is when I get to decide when I don't want to do it. Don't want to do, and don't like to do. That's specific freedom to reject things then. Well, sounds fitting coming from you. So I guess you found what you were looking for. You had a bunch of models from philosophies in your brain and you never quite wrapped your head around. In hearing what 21 just said, you now feel like really no need to wrap your head around them. Because one goes through their life as self, and it's precisely why we need to go after the self. The rest of the factors just grow on the land was one subject, self. As long as the underlying soil is still fertile, we still cultivate the fruit solves that's back all limitations. Well, I guess I will save no more time then. Very sorry about what happened to Snore. 21 makes a sound with her noise. It was the same way a little animal would, showing her disagreement. I beat them all. Those guys, they tried to take away Buddy. I beat them all before they took Captain from me. But I know I wasn't being responsible toward Buddy, which is why I'm letting Buddy sleep right here as a punishment to myself. So there's 21 as she points at her chest. Forever and ever. I'm not letting anyone else take away my Haruka ever again. Haruka? Canon taught me that. She's our friend. You're about to ask 21 to elaborate when you hear a loud clank from inside the lounge. In the lounge. Oops. Apologies. Leslie picks up the terminal lying flat on the table and gives it a few nonchalant brushes. A literal slip of a hand right there, but boy, that was loud, wasn't it? We're moving on to the section where we're all feeling okay with this part. Then, would you rather conduct the inquiry yourself, Ishmael? The other ascendant agent, with just a smile, Ishmael says nothing. See, Thera, we need to calm down here because we've been put on the task. As far as the inquiry goes, both parties are actually equally vulnerable to stress. so I'm hoping that takes some of the hostility out there here. Right. I can prove that Ishmael seldom agrees to this kind of request. Ishmael's gaze is accompanied by her usual composed manner, as she herself claimed. Indeed, doesn't show any interrogative intention from a higher up. However, Vera cannot shake the lingering sensation that she's being meticulously inspected. Stress! I'm afraid I can really relate. But if this is causing you stress, just spit it out and get it done quickly. To put it simply, based on the information we've gathered so far, it's evident that as the captain of Cerberus, you're allowed to supervise construct to access a restricted device without proper authorization, which is deemed a serious dereliction of duty. Yeah, that's how it's written in the report. Information we've gathered. Vera begins to ponder, contemplating who might be the master behind the scenes and orchestrating the current turmoil. So it's still because of the uniqueness of 21. If someone wants to take over control of 21, she will undoubtedly stand as a stumbling block that can cause them trouble. So after 21 submits her framed commander, they will remove her from Cerberus with any excuse they can find. But is the military aware of this? For the person Vera needs to remain in her role, does Captain Cerberus help them deal with those off-the-record matters? Or this is a trap set for those who want to reach Vera? Is this the bait that Nikolai mentioned before? This is also another possibility. This could be a warning to Vera, reminding her that her role as a fisher's dog, cautioning her not to exceed the boundaries of the freedom granted by her master. Hoping as long as Vera continues to obey, it doesn't matter to the order given, which squad she belongs to. If Vera starts to show too much neglect regarding the rules, the master will then consider the possibility of being hurt by the blade in their own hand. Well, with people sent by the control court sitting right in front of me, they must be pretty damn sure about the fidelity of the information they've got. But honestly, I can't even guarantee that we were fully conscious throughout the whole battle. That's just going by my memory data, let alone 21's. Unbending the face of their challenge, Vera responds by posing the question back to the inquiry. I can understand that. Judging from the report, it was indeed an extremely perilous battle. Allow me to clarify, Vera. Our purpose here today is not only to query about the unauthorized activity during the battle, but to pass any judgment of guilt. I'm sure you're one of the few who act so easily going around and responded, Ishmael. Well, his voice is a clear my throat. Well, I appreciate the kindness, but I can't help but wonder why a higher up like you would be concerned with such a petty matter. Or is there anything else you want to dig from this? It was a request from a close colleague that I couldn't really refuse. Other than that, I usually stay clear of cases regarding unauthorized activities, but this is also part of our responsibility as a member of the control court. Right, Lesty? According to the document, the appropriate course of action would be for Vera, as an authorized holder, to use the key herself when she determines that the situation calls for it. Such mentioned situation is that there is a considerable likelihood of your experience loss of consciousness in the next period, and the impending battle necessitates the lifting of 21's frame limits. We are all well aware of the distinctive nature of 21's new frame. If she were to lose control, that would be the least desirable outcome for anyone involved. Clause 1.3 in 21's interim return agreement, I remember that. But like I said, I can't make any promise that either 21 or I have a clear memory of that battle. The respondent could assert the disruption of incidents. Is that what she means, Ishmael? I think we now have a general grasp of the ground you're holding, Vera. However, as Leslie mentioned earlier, Control Court does possess certain information. Based on your demeanor, it's likely that we will initiate a comprehensive investigation to verify the ambiguous evidence. I hope we can expectantly uncover the truth, whether acceptable to all parties involved. As you wish. I've got a question for you. If you don't mind, let's say if the higher-ups suspicious about the activity turn out to be true, what kind of punishment are we looking at here? And responsibility lies with 21, she will likely be suspended from the squad, furthering an investigation. However, if the responsibility falls on you, it would be necessary to relieve you of your captain position. Ha! So well disciplined, don't you agree? To anyone who is leaning against the door, listen, and swiftly appears behind you. In the next instant, the members of the control push open the door. The woman who exudes an air of reliability and friendliness gives you a nod. Upon noticing your presence, following closely behind her is another construct, presumably her junior, who appears to be muttering something along the lines, "It's finally done." Vera makes her appearance at last, strolling out leisurely. Her glares briefly at 21 before giving you once over, assessing you from the head to her. "Oh, look at you, dressing like a big shot today." They seriously need to ditch that poster of you in the metal armor and replace it with one of you rocking this uniform. This is the true hero of Babylonia right here. Please spare me. 21, only you're here? Where the hell is Noctis? Noctis said Captain was in for a major scolding. He'll come later. Doesn't want to wait. I'll make him regret saying that. He's here. At the opposite end of the corridor, the sturdy construct scratches his head as he strides forward, passing by Ishmael and Listy. From a distance, he starts speaking in a loud voice. "Ha! Looks like I came on the right time. Yo, Grey Raven, what brings you here? On your way to grab a drink too?" "Why don't you join us, Dan? Let more people witness the magnificent sight of the legendary Grey Raven Commandant looking all heroic and badass." Think I'll pass. "So, really not going? Noctis is paying." "Wait, what? I thought it was on you, 21. "Whoever's the blockhead pays. And it's Noctis." "The hell? I'm not going." "Are you disobeying me again? 21, beat his ass." "This is your punishment for disobeying your captain. If anyone ever asks, make sure you own up to your mistake and let them know you got a serious smackdown as a consequence." "Who asked that kind of silly? Out! Get off me, 21. "Blockhead Noctis." "I warn you, I'm gonna take this seriously." "No, unless you buy me electrolyte. Mango flavored, 20 glasses." "Ouch, cut it off. Fine, I'll get you that. But just so you know, I'm gonna be watching you drink them all today. I'll teach you a good lesson." As the three of them continue walking away, the boisterous corridor gradually returns to its usual state of tranquility. Seeing the genuine smile adoring 21's face, you suddenly recall the smile she used to wear when she made from intimidating others. Is she aware that she can show a genuine smile now? Not intending through imitation or analysis, a smile that truly belongs to 21. Each man's life represents a road towards himself. An attempt to such a road, the imitation of a path. No man has ever been entirely and completely himself, yet each one strives to become that one in an awkward, another a more intelligent way, each as best he can. Each man carries the vestiges of his birth, the slime and eggshells his primeval past, with him to the end of these days. Some never become human, remaining frog, lizard, ant. Some are human above the waste fish above. Each represents a gamble on the part of nature, in the creation of a human. We all share the same origin. Our mothers, all of us, come in the same door. But each of us experiments on the depths strives towards his own destiny. We can understand one another, but each of us isn't able to interpret himself alone. Hermann Hesse. Of course it's a German. Land of poets. For quite a stoic language, they sure like their poetry. Well, anyway, that's pretty much the entire story of those. Well, there's a new chapter now. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Anyway, I guess I'll be seeing you all next time. Good luck with the future and hope you enjoy this little story. Take care and good luck.